PJ will hop on soon, I'm sure.
What up, peeps? We got Will Foxification here. Thank you for joining us.
Tip of the hat. Yeah, accidentally.
A special guest. Probably you haven't seen him before. Like this is only our 75th time.
Like 500th live stream together.
Yeah. So, but one guy we're missing is PJ, and that's on purpose.
Yeah, he's
just
Yeah, he's just not cool to us anymore. I don't know. 2 Rancors, that's not cool.
I mean, who does that? I mean, now he works like 70 hours a week to pay off.
Just to fund his Rancor addiction.
We need to put him on rehab.
Because yeah, he needs rehab bad.
I told him he needs Jesus in his life, but
Jesus and rehab both simultaneously.
Jesus and rehab
Dude,
both.
like for real though, man, if like Queen Studios gets Star Wars, PJ's life is over. Like
it is.
It's done.
Life, maybe his career, marriage.
Everything's downhill from there.
He should just buy a cat.
Or several cats.
Die alone. Yeah.
He's not here to defend himself.
I mean, that's the beauty of it. But
yeah.
Dude, let's just address the chat real quick. Toy Mafia, J-Rod, you're a Houston fan, right? I am so sorry about that. You got the Rockets just traded Oladipo for like 2 bombs and a bag of chips. I don't know what's going on. Mike Moss, Lane, what's going on, Lane? So the good news, Lane, is PJ is not around and he's not controlling it. So if you have any super chats tonight, make sure about we're gonna read it. I'm really not feeling Winter Soldier figure, Lane.
We'll get into it probably.
We're gonna talk about that. Oh, Lane's coming in hot.
Lane is coming hot tonight. He's fired up about something.
Yeah, Lane. Negan, what's up, Negan? Totally feel you about Bucky. King Dingaling. King, I don't know if you see my shirt. It's a good day to be a Bulls fan. We got Nikola.
Is he a Bulls fan? King Dingaling?
Oh, yeah, he's from Chicago.
Oh, the King Dingaling is a Bulls fan. Who knew?
Man,
I didn't know.
King Dingaling, we should meet up somewhere. That came out really weird, but not
like Craigslist.
Do not reply to any of my inquiries if you have any faceless listing. Please do not. Shumara, what's going on? James Drake, cracking up. Yeah, PJ, that guy.
He's so easy to crack on.
I mean...
Especially when he's not, he's going to hop on any second. Hopefully, well, I guess it's live, so it's like public record at this point. He's going to see that we said all this and unfriend us.
I mean, I've been waiting for that.
Right. We've been trying to get him to.
Heart emojis and all that stuff all the time, which
is
kind of weird.
Yeah, right.
Oh, Lane has 2 cats. Hey, man, there's nothing wrong about owning cats.
No.
As long as is there like a number of cats, Will, that might be,
like I feel like when you start getting in double digits, that's when you start getting in like weird cat lady territory. You know what I mean?
Double digits, sure. Because
double digits.
Well, if you see, technically can't walk a cat, but if you have a stroller for a cat, is that kind of dangerous too? Because my wife's friend is like that.
Can you not? Yeah, that's actually a really good point. I actually never thought. I don't think I've ever seen anyone walk a cat.
Yeah,
like. I don't think that exists. I don't think that's a thing, but I've just never put 2 and 2 together until this moment. Like no one's ever walked a cat before. I'm sure they have.
Conversation. See, you learn a lot.
But I have seen a cat in a stroller before.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a really good.
Is that
observation.
Weird, or is that like a deal breaker? Let's say the girl is not that hot and she's like, walking.
Yeah, no. Like, and even it might not even be double digits. It might be lower than that. Like if she has like more than 5. More than 5 cats, I feel like that's kind of like
pushing.
All right, right.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of collectibles, so is that any less weird? I don't know.
True.
I have a giant Pennywise. So
hey, you know what? I ask the hard questions in here. This is what we do.
Exactly.
we draw the line on which is weird and not.
Right. We're going to talk about probably some of that stuff tonight. So
yep, exactly. And you guys didn't know because we were going to talk about that, but we talked about TV instead. But what's going on? Ben, King Dingaling, Bulls, baby. I know, man. I
like the Bulls.
I'm hyped up.
Yeah.
Albert. Oh, I've seen a dude take a cat to a park.
Really? Okay. Well, that you learn something new every day. Because I didn't know people did that.
Like if she's hot, you might still approach that and be like, "Hey, that's a cool cat."
Right.
But
it's
a
really nice cat.
But where do you draw the line? Like if a 6
Hmm.
has a cat or a 7
Yeah.
has a cat, that's probably a pass, right?
Like if she just has a cat, I think it's fine. You know
No,
what I
no, no.
mean?
Like I mean the rating of a lady. We might sound like really, if she's around 7-ish
Oh,
and
but I
she has a
mean,
cat
but are
in the
you asking
stroller.
like if she's like a 7 and she just has one cat?
Yeah, one cat in a stroller in a park.
Oh, in a stroller, that's a little bit weird. Yeah, like if
Yeah.
she just has a cat at the house, that's not the
No,
end
no,
of the
no,
world.
no. In a stroller, and she's a
But
7.
yeah,
Because if she's a 9, like a number 9, she has a cat in a stroller. You
right.
still might want to ignore the cat in the stroller. You can
Yeah,
overlook that.
it's kind of a problem.
You can get past that.
So like, and especially if like I can just imagine the cat having like little booties on, like little boots on,
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
it being in a stroller having like a scarf, and I could just be like, nah, like that's probably like. So if she were still attractive, I'd probably have to say like, all right, I'm gonna have to speak up my displeasure with this situation because this is definitely something that I'm not okay with. But if you're still a cool person, I'll still date you. But I'm gonna like if I were walking in a park with her, I'd keep the social distance
Yeah,
because
yeah.
yeah, you can't be associated with that.
Speaking of booties on, because I do. Do you have a dog?
My parents do, but I
Okay, so
don't know.
first time we had a dog, me and my wife, when this before kids.
Mm,
It's like a small Maltese, which already like take it down a notch. I mean, you can't walk. You could, but
right,
sorry if you
never.
guys. I do have a Maltese. His name is Boozer. Unfortunately,
Boozer after
we got
Carlos
him
Boozer.
like Carlos Boozer because we got him in
Nice.
2010. I was really happy. If had I known, I'd name him Vucevic. But but, but I got him. So he's a little Maltese. And
Mm.
my wife, treat him like a child. So it's like, hey, it's cold outside. It's in Chicago. Let's put some booties on him. And I was like, my manhood already shrinking because I'm walking like a 5-pound dog, right? And you put booties on him in a jacket. I mean, but the dog hated it.
Yeah, they don't like it at
They don't
all.
like it. Yeah.
No, they would much rather prefer their puppy pads just be out in the world and just natural, all natural. And their fur pretty much keeps them not like you couldn't put them out in a blizzard and leave them out there; they'd be an icicle.
Yeah.
But like you could walk them and he'd probably be fine.
Yeah, I mean, he is the man. Boozer. I don't know if you know Carlos Boozer,
Yep,
right?
yep.
He's
He
like
was a good
he
player.
looks like a scary dude, but he's so soft on defense.
Is he still around?
No, he's in Guangdong, China. The last time,
Oh, he's playing in
Guangdong
China.
Sharks. He played in China, and then he
Oh,
kind of just,
he
you
was
know,
good for a while. What he on? He was on the Bulls, but I remember wasn't he on the Jazz or
he
something
was
at
on the
some point?
Jazz. He was a beast on the Jazz.
Yeah,
He came
yeah.
to the Bulls, and he was not bad. He's King Dingalinkin knows about this. He was our scapegoat because he doesn't play defense, but he's
Right.
putting solid numbers. And
Neither is
this is
James
where
Harden.
the Bulls were really good defensively back then. This is where like statistics are bad because he doesn't do anything on defense, yet his defensive rating is so high because he's right next to Joakim Noah, so he grabs all
Oh,
the rebounds. So, but yeah, I named my dog Boozer.
I remember Joakim Noah.
Oh, that guy is amazing.
Yeah,
I love him.
he was a character, that's for sure.
He is a character. He's like one of those wild ones. You hate playing against him, but you love playing with him.
He would be a
He's
good
your
teammate for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I feel like he would be a really cool, fun teammate and supportive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he did. He did that, Austin. Like he put like
That's my
Bijan.
brother.
I don't know if you know about that. Like if you go to a barber shop, to hide your baldness, they put
Do
some
you
Bijan on your
you
hair.
spray it on?
It's Bijan is kind of like it's like a paint, so you kind of paint
Hmm.
it on there.
I've
So
heard of hair tattoos.
yeah,
So
that's the thing too.
I've thought of that, but then I've seen the pictures and I'm like, nah, because that shit is permanent. So like if it doesn't
Yeah.
look good, it's there. I mean, like
Yeah.
you're just wearing a hat all the time, like even at work and stuff, and they're gonna be like, "Why are you wearing a hat?" I'd be like, "Well, I got a really bad hair tattoo." So
Yeah,
I just embrace the baldness, guys. If you're like me and you're balding, go with it. Shave it.
just
Women like it. I mean, like it's like it's definitely kind of an in thing. You gotta have a little bit of facial hair like this, but you can pull it off.
yeah. I mean, if it's going, you gotta let it go at some point.
There's the rule, though. The rule. You can be fat, you can be bald, but you cannot be both. Okay, that's the
Damn.
rule. That's the rule, man. Like it's just the rule. Like so, like for me, like I I'm not bigger, so like I'm okay. But like I'm bald. I'm one of those things, but I'm not both. Like you can be. I guess you can technically be whatever you want to be, but just
Yeah.
in terms of attracting a partner, just be
That
careful with that.
that puts it. Yeah. That
That's just the dating rule. Let's call it the dating rule. That's what I've
Yeah.
always been told. So.
okay. I'll keep that in mind.
So,
Just in case I get
because
divorced.
if you're bald, like if you're in decent shape, it actually looks better. You know what I mean? Like your face is a little bit slimmer. You look better with the bald, the sleek look.
Yeah.
But if you're not in good shape, then you're just kind of like, he has no hair and some other
Makes
stuff.
sense because if you're bald, that kind of like shortens your face
Right.
already, right? So now you
Right.
got to elongate it by being a little bit slimmer.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. So if you're
dude.
kind of lean or slim like that, it gives it a better look and grow a little bit of facial hair. So
So hey, guys,
my
take out
tips.
the notepads and just make sure you're writing this down because
I've been
this
bald
is
for like a couple years now. So I'm
it's do you go to a barber still or you just do it yourself?
no, my mom does it.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
just
dude, it's because like you can shave it yourself. I've shaved. This is funny. This conversation has gone these directions, but you can shave it
this is
yourself.
a hot toys conversation, guys.
It
Just
will
yeah,
be soon.
yeah.
And by the
At
time
some
PJ
point.
gets here, he's missed all the good stuff. But like, yeah, you can shave it yourself. It definitely can be done. Shaving the back of it's kind of hard. It's definitely doable, probably for people that are better at it than me. But like, I've cut myself several times, so like a few times, and like it takes a while to heal. So, but if you have someone do it, like a girlfriend or a parent or whatever, like it's so much easier. It doesn't take very long.
Dude, like
It saves so
I
much
haven't
money.
gotten a haircut probably in the past 7 months now, and I love it. My hair is really long, and my wife hates it. It doesn't look like it because I shave the underneath, like I do an undercut,
Oh,
so I'll like
okay.
tie it up really high, and it is really high on the side. But
Yeah.
I always wanted to look like Nick Carter, so I was trying to do.
That's kind of the style now, though. You know
Yeah,
what I
man,
mean?
I'm trying to go blonde, and
Mm.
especially I don't go to work.
You have
I just stay
highlights
at
next
home,
live
and
stream.
and then I'll just wait for the rain and start like doing this, and
Yeah, exactly. Backstreet Boys are sick though. They were
hey
sick at
man,
the time, and people still love them. But
hey, quit playing, man. Quit
don't
playing
play
games with my
games with
heart.
my heart,
With
man.
my heart. Hey, just a white polo
Classic.
and just go in the rain, and yeah, it's gone really sideways right
I
now.
know it
But
really has. This is the effect that I have on the live stream.
so, dude, while waiting for BJ, what's new? You got anything? I know you're shopping for TV. Any new stuff? I know you got the first order.
Yes, I did. So this is a really good question, guys. I was talking to Optical about this before the live stream started. Shopping for a TV is hard, okay? Because like you go, this is the problem. Don't ever go into a store and look at TVs because you're gonna see the most expensive TV and you're gonna be like, that's the best one and that's the one I want, and that's what happens and makes your life more difficult and more expensive. So that's kind of what happened here. Oh, Mario said, "What are we shaving?"
Oh,
Not
Mario. By the way, this live stream is brought to you. It's sponsored by
Manscaped. Yeah, Manscaped.
Yeah,
They sponsored PJ and by extension us. So
yeah.
PJ speaks firsthand about it.
Just to make sure when you go number 2, man, it goes all the way down. There's no
There you go.
blockage whatsoever. Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's exactly right. So, shopping for TV. I'm also starting. I've told the people on PJ stream, we all together, I'm going to be doing live streams on my channel with you guys. I'll be talking about movies, collectibles, all the good stuff. And then we're talking about TV shows and everything in between. So it's going to be fun. So I'm getting the details worked out for that. I'm going to be doing video game streaming, live streaming. So got my Elgato, shopping for a TV to get what I need. Everything's going to be set up. Lighting's all set up. Optical, you're going to be on there too because we're going to be playing some Call of Duty or something. Yeah.
Hardcore.
We're going to, and dude, and we've talked about this. Last of Us 2. I don't like the game, but if they put out a multiplayer, I'll buy it because I'll rebuy the game.
You traded in the game?
I sold it already. Yeah, I sold it like literally after I finished it. I was like, I'm never gonna play this again. And I sold it. And dude, I sold it for like $50. So I barely paid anything to get the game.
Wow.
Besides getting the Ellie edition, which was like $200.
200. Yeah. You know what? The other one's like, I guess it's safe to say that was a mistake. But
well, I got the backpack out of it, and I still have that and the statue.
I made my own fair share of mistake. The Avengers. I bought the exclusive edition of that. That game was, it's not horrible, but it's also not what I thought it would be. I had expectations for that.
Right.
Knowing what I do know now, would I bought it for 200 because I did buy the special edition? No. No, absolutely not.
No, you can't. But still, like, it was worth a shot. You never know. I mean, I kind of, and like sometimes it goes the opposite direction. I ended up buying the mask anyway, but I kind of wish I bought the Ghost of Tsushima collector's edition. So I ended up buying the mask separate, which I probably paid. I think I paid like $125, which is probably what I would have paid for like the collector's edition to start with. But like, I love that mask. It's so good. It's a replica from the game directly, and it's got a stand and everything. It's really cool. But
dude, you know what I hated? Yeah. Like, I never bought the collector's edition of the first Last of Us.
Me either, because I didn't play it then. I played it on the remaster. So yeah, I really, because that statue is like so expensive. Right next to each other. Dude, that statue is like $800 now.
It's insane.
Yeah, I wish I had that. But like, they're putting out other merch. But so I told you I got the Black Order for Iron Studios. So I'm going to be reviewing those. I'm still going to review WandaVision, guys. I'm just trying to find the time to do it. But so I'm going to review all that. What about you? What's going on?
Dude, I'm so proud of myself. I haven't bought a Hot Toys or any 1/6 for almost a month now. If I last 4 more days, yep, full month, no 1/6.
That's crazy, man.
Dude, nothing. And I review stuff. The one that you guys are seeing on, that I'm uploading, I have like 6 more, maybe 9 more of those. So yeah, I'll try to stick to what my pre-orders are right now, and we'll talk about that too, because this is, we can talk about the struggles that we're facing here. I just kind of compiled them, waiting for like PJ to join in with us. But while waiting for this bozo, that's
it's a good name for him.
Yeah, I mean, dude, we didn't talk about this.
Yeah, I don't think we've discussed it yet, you and I.
Yeah, I never made a preview. I just never had a desire to do a preview of that. I know you didn't either.
No, I didn't. No. And if anyone's going to make a preview, it's going to be you, because you're literally the preview guy, because you're first every time.
I mean, what do you think about this, man? I mean,
dude, and it's funny. My brother and I actually just watched the second episode of this, like before we started live streaming. Like, I don't know if I told you, Optical, like this figure is kind of boring to me. Like, I feel like there's just really not a lot to it. Like, the arm is really cool. I think it looks great. Like, the sculpt looks really good. The arm looks really good. But, like, the outfit, it's not Hot Toys' fault. It's just kind of Marvel is, like, Winter Soldier's outfit in the show. It's very, like, I don't know, bland. Like, I feel like it's not a lot of inspiration to it, you know?
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of accessories. He's priced fairly, $250. But compared to like Bo-Katan and Wanda, but like to me, this is not a pre-order for me, because I just like, I actually love where they're taking his character in this season, but it's just the figure. I'm not excited about the outfit. Like his Winter Soldier outfit from Winter Soldier, that one is just by far the GOAT of Winter Soldier outfits. So, I mean, it's by far the best figure in my opinion. And it's just, it's just a boring figure. But what do you think?
Dude, by the way, James, good morning, James.
Oh, Shanghai.
Yeah. It's not a bad looking figure, but you're absolutely right. It's more, you know what? Like, it's funny, the evolution of Winter Soldier, like from the first Winter Soldier, he looks like badass. He got the dark eyes, mask. It looks like by the next Winter Soldier, he'll be in a polo shirt. I mean, went from, the mask with dark eyes to the Civil War, who doesn't have dark eyes, and the what do you call it? The Avengers one, where he just have a long hair. Now he got a clean cut now. Next time he won't have a beard, and then the next release he'll be in a polo shirt. Like, he looks tamer and tamer the more we see him.
Like, less accessories on the outfit every time. Yeah,
and he looks like, by the time 2 more figures, he'll be like a civilian now, not a soldier anymore. But it's $250. Like, if you own previous Winter Soldier, and this is for like a hardcore fan Winter Soldier, and I'm sure there's out there, there's people who loves Winter Soldier and want to have. The only difference, in my opinion, in here, which is not massive, is the hair from the Infinity War.
Yeah,
because it's still blue. I'm sure there's a few differences here and there, but I guess if you have that, you can get away. If you really want this look, just pop the head sculpt out and swap it out, get a third party.
I don't know how people feel about it. Even to me, the Infinity War figure is not that great. I mean, like, I don't have it, but it's just the outfit. Like, I think it's a good figure. It's well done. The sculpt's good. It looks good. It's just the outfit. Like, it's very boring and simplistic. Like, and same with this. Like, it looks cool, but it's just, I might end up coming around to it eventually. But if I could find it for less than retail, maybe. But like, it's one of those that I think is going to sit for a little while. I think everyone really wants Falcon. So I think when they announce that, probably with the Shield eventually, they're going to announce that, and then that's going to be the one that everyone goes crazy for. But this one, I think, is going to sit for a little while, just because it's, I mean, unless they reissue the Winter Soldier outfit, like, which they could, based on episode 1, like, that would be something I think people would want. This is just kind of like, it's okay. I mean, it looks good. It's just kind of the outfit. I feel like every movie, like you said, like, he gets a less cool outfit.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting tamer and at least the look wise.
Right.
But again, make no mistake, it's a great looking figure, but I feel like this is one of those figures where the only market for this is either you're a hardcore Winter Soldier fanboy, you love the show, or you never had Winter Soldier. And if you never had Winter Soldier, because recently, it was just maybe 3 weeks ago where the Infinity War sold out on BBTS.
Mm,
So I know it's been, on waitlist and Sideshow for a while, but there's other retailers than Sideshow. It's
mhm.
BBTS is, pretty big too.
Right.
You'll find other stuffs in there too. But yeah, I mean, if you had one, I don't know if it calls for, like sometimes you got like the Scarlet Witch, even though we already have Scarlet Witch, but it's
Mhm.
so different that you're gonna be like, I gotta have that. This doesn't scream that way.
No.
Maybe never will. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think so. And you make a really good point actually about Scarlet Witch because for one, her outfit is very different. Two, it looks cool. Three, a lot of people missed out on Civil War and they need a Scarlet Witch. Like this one, like most people who want a Winter Soldier can readily get one. So I
Right.
mean, even with him being sold out on Big Bad Toy Store, like he sat forever on those sites, and like you could still buy an Infinity War Bucky probably for out on the aftermarket for a pretty fair price. So I
Yeah.
mean, like I don't think you have to post on the groups and say, look, asking for a reasonable price. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't think
There's
he's one of
one
those
now
figures.
for 230. It's a
Really?
Chicago guy. Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, that's for Infinity War. So
So
I mean,
yeah,
you
dude.
don't have to wait.
But dude, and the problem with the Infinity War figure to me, like the most memorable thing that Bucky does in that film is get dusted. I mean, like that's why he comes with the disintegrating arm, because like literally pick up Rocket and get dusted. That's like all he does in that film. So like that figure like he's the first one to get snapped. So
Right.
like, and that was pretty shocking. So, but like if you want to put him in that kind of pose, that's interesting. But otherwise, who is this?
Oh my god.
The Rancor Tamer. He doesn't even hear shit.
So Rancor
He
So,
is such
what's up, guys?
What's up, PJ?
I hear you guys talking about my Rancors.
We talked about both Rancors.
Both Rancors, yeah.
Now I'm gonna have a cat instead of a Rancor.
You are gonna have a cat soon.
Yeah, soon if you continue this path.
I'm gonna have 3 cats.
Well, you're still below the minimum or the maximum.
I don't do anything in ones. I do everything in like doubles. So maybe
We
2
set
cats.
we set the minimum at 5 cats.
Yeah, that's where we draw the weirdness line.
Right.
No, usually it's 20 cats. Then we're like, wait a minute, what's going on here?
20 cats, you really have a problem at that point.
Yeah, I mean, how do you
Yeah.
feed all those? Just that's alarming.
I don't know.
I'm having a hard time feeding my dog.
I don't know
but-
how anyone does anything like that. Oh,
Yeah.
look at this.
Dude,
What
have you
the
guys seen
heck
this?
is this?
It's third party. You got 2
Oh,
babies.
Vesus.
Woo, look at this. Hey man, I got way too many
What the
babies
heck is
that are
that?
alive, but
Are
Visa.
those Ves?
I saw this on one of the groups actually. Optical.
Oh, good Vesus.
Yeah.
PJ, settle it. Well, it's not really a debate. How many cats is weird?
How many cats? I think anything over maybe 3 cats. Maybe. might
Okay,
be a
we
little
said
bit
we
weird.
came to a consensus of 5.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 cats. That's definitely. That's
there
like
like a-
that's not borderline where you're like, wait a minute, this is
Okay.
really getting.
Well, is there like, we have this term about like crazy cat lady. Is there a thing about crazy dog lady or dog guy? The guys who just have so many dogs. How come I think this is a discrimination for cats?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit. Because there's the crazy cat lady stereotype.
Stereotype.
You know.
What if you
Yeah.
have like 4 dogs? Isn't that weird or no?
No,
Not really?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know. That's weird. I don't know.
Well, I'd say if you had like 5 or 6 dogs, I think it would start to be a little weird. Like, unless you're like a
well,
shelter.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say unless you're rescuing the dogs or
Right.
Or
rescuing
if you have
the
a
cats.
farm that,
if you have a farm.
sheep dogs or whatever.
I think to be on the safe
Sheep
side,
dogs.
let's put it this way: if you have cats and a lot of newspaper, then there's a problem.
Mhm.
That means you're a hoarder.
A lot of newspaper.
A lot
lot
of
of
newspaper.
So as
A
far
lot,
as
like-
vision goes,
This
Going
is
on
not,
to
this is not
toys,
Vision. This is Vesus.
this is Visas. Oh,
Visas.
sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
The suit. Look at the babies. I didn't notice that till right this second.
I told you there's babies in here.
Oh my
That is-
god.
I
Oh
mean,
my-
now, but they're giving us this head sculpt from Infinity War, which is, I think, it's pretty cool.
That would actually look really cool in an Infinity War pose, like it just with him, like maybe Thanos lifting him up. You could somehow pose it that way.
And, a black and white,
Mhm.
like body.
That
looks
is pretty cool. I mean, like at least the I think the set is good just for that alone. You know,
You got babies. So if you missed out on Obi-Wan, the deluxe version,
that's how you do it.
I'm
right
sorry,
there.
they look like horror babies. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Car babies.
no horror. Like,
I was like, what?
Like, I don't know. There used to be like this horror movie that had like a killer baby. I forgot what's the name of it. Let me find
Baby
out.
geniuses.
Oh,
Guys, late. I want
The
to.
Oh,
Unborn.
super chat.
Yeah, that's it. The Unborn.
Oh, okay.
That
I
was,
actually delayed my. What's
think
this?
that was the name of the-
Taurus statue again. It's been over a year for delay. Should I keep or cancel?
Sideshow delayed my Deja Thor statue again. It's been over a year for its delay. Should I keep it canceled? I don't know. I think that really depends on how bad you want it. I mean, if it's like a grail piece for you, then no. But if it's kind of like a so-so, you're like, maybe I'd rather have the money to buy something else, then yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big. I think that one's from that movie, right? John something. Isn't that Deja Thor statue from a movie?
I'm not even sure.
I don't even know. I'm just thinking of it as like a collector's piece, like if he wants it really bad or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I thought that was from a movie.
It looks like fictional character and princess of the Martian city.
John Carter.
Okay.
That was
John
from
Carter.
Yep,
that
it's
was from
John
John Carter.
Okay.
Yeah, it's John Carter.
I've
yeah.
seen that movie. I just don't remember everything.
Yeah,
about it.
so I guess if you're a big fan of it, it looks great. I think it's sculpted by what's the name of that sculptor? He sculpted Thanos. I'm so tired right now.
17 hours.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see. What's
that
it?
rancor.
He's
Almost know it.
been taming his rank.
Oh, Will Harbottle. I believe it's sculpted by Will Harbottle. So that is one of the legends in the game in terms of sculptors. So if you're a Deja Thoris fan and you want the ultimate statue, I say wait, man, because to have one of the greats sculpt that piece, it's definitely worth waiting. I mean, because he sculpted Rogue, he sculpted Juggernaut, Thanos and the Throne, Gambit. So I mean, I could go on, and you could tell like how great of a sculptor that guy is. So I would wait if you're a fan.
Yeah, man.
It's not based on. He goes, it's not based on the John Carter live action movie.
Oh, okay.
I think it might be from a comic, from like Dynamite Comics or something like that. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you already waited this long, what's another?
Yeah.
So.
And to be honest, I think there's something going on with Sideshow. I think that's why a lot of people are getting a lot of their stuff late. Supposedly, there's like 20 something plus containers on the dock.
Yeah.
I heard the docks are real backed up.
Yeah, the docks are really backed up, and then something about like one of the containers got lost again. I don't know. Around the dock, like it crashed and fell. I don't know. So hopefully that's not people's Hot Toys or statues. So
well, it would make sense because I still don't have my Beskar Mando, so it probably is in the ocean somewhere.
Oh no, I wouldn't go. I mean, I'm just saying, it's just like hopefully it's not. So
yeah.
Did you get your cap yet though? Or
nope. Neither optical or no. I got it. No.
Is it from you guys ordered from Sideshow or
Sideshow?
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm from Big Bad Toy Store, so I'll probably get it around July.
You'll get yours sometime like next year.
Oh, sometime around this year.
James E says Suez Canal is blocked.
Oh, okay. Well, Iron Studios told me the same thing because I've been waiting. I mean, I got them eventually. I'm still waiting on Corvus. They were like, yeah, the docks are crazy right now. So they said, like, basically just prepare to wait.
Damn.
So,
what's going to be quick, though, is if you order this Visus.
Oh, my God.
Visus. I can't believe they named him that, Visus.
Look at this.
This looks like one of those, like, oh, my gosh, this is I'm sorry.
Yeah,
this is horrible.
This doesn't look great. Yeah,
I'm sorry. Like, I just have a feeling that Hot Toys, they're probably going to release a if Visus could make this, I'm pretty sure Hot Toys can make this.
It's kind of cold in there, man.
They should name him Visus Hot Toys.
Just the abs start sticking out.
You can see his nipple.
It is cold. He just came out of the freezer.
It must be. He literally is cold.
Yeah, I say, I don't know.
That's cool,
dude.
So wait, I don't get this. I was in and out of like looking at Facebook today, but is this like a reissue of the?
It looks like it.
I think it's a rumor.
Well,
this looks like painted like really well, like compared to the old one. Like I don't remember.
The old one always has some problems on it, so.
Yeah, I don't remember the old one being like that shiny in terms of like the is it the gold plate, the bronze plate stuff,
Yeah.
right? Was it that shiny?
Do we know something? I know we talked about it before. What's with the influx of this Batman Nolan verse that's been coming out?
I don't know, man.
It's
It's still
probably
hot.
maybe its license is cheap. They're like,
Right.
yeah,
Let's pump it out.
And
Bane will
it's
probably be next.
is it the fact that like most people missed out on this? Let's just we'll just you know what they did, and maybe let's put it out again. Now that DC's kind of hot,
yeah. I was gonna say for me, I would seriously, if I was Hot Toys, I would make that tumbler like remote control,
Hmm.
That would
like
be kind of hard though.
with the lipo batteries and stuff, like going like 30 miles per hour down the. That would be super cool.
How much is that going to increase the price, though?
I shouldn't increase it too much. I mean, if they wire it correctly, but because I don't know, I say that because my son is getting into RC cars, and like I went a little crazy in like Amazon. I bought him like one of the fastest ones that goes up to like 50 miles per hour, and that thing is pretty cool. So
Okay.
that'd be cool if they. I don't know. I know it's a collector's item, right? Like no one wants to do that to their maybe $1,000 tumbler, but that'd be really cool if you could. Like you do it
Right.
around the house, right?
Yeah.
That's a good
Dude.
point. Yeah, with such an expensive item, it's no one's going to do that probably.
Somebody,
Yeah.
I think
Somebody
Tommy,
might.
yeah, asked this Batman need 303. I did. I actually put
Ooh.
armor all on my Batman, and somebody commented like it's bad for your figures because apparently it just makes the rubber hard. I've been doing it for the past 10. My Batman Begins is almost 10 years old and it's still fine.
No
so-
flaking?
no flaking. I mean, it's rubber, but I put armor all on
Oh,
it.
it's not pleather. Okay.
I mean, it's almost 10 years old, like I said. So if it deteriorates at one point, then so be it. I had almost 10 years out of it,
So I've had I have had a lot of figures, and I never had that problem. Maybe knock on wood. I don't know what I'm doing wrong or right.
Maybe it's our place, like we're in a colder area compared to humid, like Miami, like the Florida area where it's kind of humid, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
I've been lucky too, and I live in Maryland. It's a pretty humid area. I mean, like it's, and I've been lucky. Yeah, I haven't had any issues so far.
Yeah, I mean during the summertime, like New Jersey is like
Right.
just a
Maryland, they're so close. I mean,
yeah, we're just like super humid.
right.
But I always keep my man cave like really cool. Like,
Yeah, me too. Me too.
So that's one thing I always make sure.
That
Like
just said Manscaped.
what?
PJ, we mentioned your name as the Manscaped spokesperson. So,
Yeah.
Oh my-
that's what you are now.
This stream is sponsored by Manscaped.
Oh, if I get hey man, if I'm sponsored by Manscaped, like
Hey,
I
I'll
love their
shave it every day.
products.
You are now.
And yeah, thank you. You can thank me, Optical, for all all this crazy amount of Manscaped advertising that's going to be on this live stream.
Probably on my Facebook. Yeah,
You're going to be reviewing
now on
Manscaped
my
products
Facebook.
in no time flat.
Yeah.
If they can just send me some, some razors, that would be great.
I've heard that they're good. I've never tried them, but I've heard that they're good. But I've heard that people have some issues sometimes with getting caught. So just be careful of that. Just something to throw out there.
I tried. Well, I have it. So
Okay. I have a different one. So
I got the Lawnmower 2.0.
does it work?
It works, man. That's all I'm
Okay.
saying. That's all
Okay,
I
because
got.
I have like a Philips Norelco one, and it works pretty good. I like
keep
it.
it all natural. So
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my goodness.
Great. This conversation is gone.
It just tanked pretty hard.
That was my fault.
No, but it's great, man. Let's just put it this way. I got it as a gift, and I swear by it. It's pretty good.
Okay.
Weird gift, but pretty good. Thank you, Optical, for the gift.
did you use it yet? Did you put yourself on camera while using it?
Oh,
Like I told you.
PJ has an OnlyFans. Yeah.
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 Don't knock the hustle, man. Those the OnlyFans people, like I don't know, they make a lot of money. I saw a documentary on it, and let's just put it this way: like I saw like one person was like making like $90,000 a month. I was like, oh my god.
Damn. Okay.
So not shaving.
$90,000 manscaping on camera.
God
Oh my
damn.
god. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. All I gotta say is like, yeah, those OnlyFans people, they make a lot of money. So
Dude, I know Mario's in a search for Batman Begins. I mean, this looks great. I mean, this suit, I love this suit, man.
It's a pretty cool suit.
yeah, I don't know. I always like the Dark Knight one.
I like Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like both. I mean, I just love the movie.
Right.
If anyone is contemplating on buying this, I do have the camo of this. It's huge. You need
Really?
literally a coffee table to display this. Like
Mm.
literally a coffee table. So if you're planning, if this is an impulse buy, you got to think about it twice, where you're gonna put this, because literally a coffee table. So
Hey,
and
you
it's
know
heavy.
what though? I was
Okay.
gonna say is that like, okay, they're pumping out like another like Tumblr. Why can't we get some Star Wars vehicles? You know?
Yeah. Well, I guess we're gonna get the speeder bike with Mando, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, but come on, really? That's like
We've kind of gotten that. Yeah. So
no. I mean, just like it's like compared to the Tumblr.
right.
Like,
It's,
I'm
it's
saying, like,
simplistic. You mean like a
yeah.
Millennium Falcon or something?
No, like even like the Starfighter, like the Millennium
yeah.
Falcon. Oh yeah, you know what? Like the Millennium Falcon cockpit, right? That would have been nice.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
You know, obviously, you know, there's other like Jazz Inc. They made that version of that, but it'd be cool if they do something like a Starfighter, even like I'm sure because you're a Force Awakens fan. How about like Ray Speeder that they teased? In,
Yeah, I would have gotten that probably.
yeah,
Is that?
Yeah,
Well,
they
I don't-
teased it at like a Comic-Con.
yeah, San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah.
So, but again, I get it. I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be like a lot of money to make, and ship. So,
Right.
but they're making another Tumblr, so I don't get it.
So this seems pretty legit though. This seems like a legit leak here.
Yeah.
Just this design and this marketing, it seems like
The
hot toys.
price not bad, 1580 Hong Kong dollars. I mean,
So what does that translate to? Because Sideshow is like $60 more than Hong Kong price typically.
so just for like, I don't know the conversion, but price wise, I bought the deluxe Spider-Man for 1680, and that
Okay.
came out to around 216 US dollars.
Yeah.
So
So
this
yeah-
would be around 200-ish maybe.
Yeah, 1580 is like $203. So you're probably looking at like 260 on Sideshow. So
Or
265.
360. So
360. With the way things are going now, who the hell knows? So
Yeah, I was gonna say. So, is this a reissue of that figure? And I don't know. I haven't collected
it
any.
looks like it, besides the head sculpt.
mhm.
Because I know
Oh, so
I have this. I have this Batman Begins, and it doesn't. This looks like the quarter scale.
yeah.
Oh, it is a quarters.
It
Oh,
looks
The
like-
head sculpt. It looks like they shrink down the quarter scale head sculpt.
Or it
Okay,
looks like the exact same head sculpt as the Dark Knight Rises figure to me. Like I
Okay.
think it's the exact same
you're
sculpt.
right. It
Yeah.
shouldn't be, because this is Batman Begin. He looks different from
Right.
between the two movies.
They're just saving money, I guess. They already made one sculpt. They're like, we're sticking with it. We're not changing it.
And again, you know, this always proves our point, man. Like, never ever pay like ridiculous amount of prices for like,
Right.
you know, for hot toys. I know there are a lot of people that advocate for, okay, like, you know, what's hot or what's not, and you know, what's going up, what's the trend going up, going down. But for me, it's like, you know what? If everyone's in that same boat, I know as collectors, we want like the most out of like, I don't know, like our collectibles, right?
Mhm.
But if you're on the other flip side, and for me, I'm usually on the other flip side. Like I always say, is that don't overpay, because you're just gonna price yourself out of the game, man. Like we're all in it for the long run, right?
Right.
So if you spend like, I don't know, $500 on Nightmare Batman, that could have been 2 Hot Toys figures, you know?
Yeah.
And you're
yeah.
pricing yourself out, like, and you're gonna say, "Well, I can't buy that. I have to be picky or choosy." Well, why did you buy 2 weeks ago? You bought like, I don't know, Mark 40,
Rancors.
2 Rancors,
2 Ranklers. Exactly right.
and now you're doing like crazy hours just to,
Just to
But-
fulfill the urge.
yeah. But hey, I'm preparing myself. I don't know. Hot Toys has been quiet, so
They've been quiet.
Yeah.
they're ready. You know, usually when they're quiet, it's not a good thing.
No. But I will say, like, oh, sorry, go ahead, Optical. You go
No,
ahead.
no, no. Go ahead. Will.
Okay, yeah. So, like, PJ, you're exactly right. I've always been in the same boat, but you guys know I paid up a little bit for the DX13. So I did that because I felt like that's not a figure they're going to reissue. You know what I mean? So, like, for that one, I will. Like, but like another story on the opposite side, like patience is a virtue, and it really does reward you after a while. Like I just paid $250 shipped for a Mark 47. Like imagine thinking that about 7 months ago, right? That would have been like a $800-$900 figure or $1,000, and I paid $250 shipped for it, like in great condition. So I mean, it's like, you know what I mean? And that's a deal even now, but like it eventually will come around. But like, for example, like Terminator, that's a franchise that's pretty much dead right now. So I mean, like after the last Terminator film, like I don't see, even if that one like got to the point of being like $800, right? I don't think Hot Toys would see that and be like, we should reissue that. I think they're kind of like, you know what I mean? Like I don't think that's like Alita. You mentioned optical. Like for one, if that goes really high, I'm not sure they would reissue that. You know what I mean? Unless it got crazy, like $3,000 or something. You know what I mean?
I think they won't reissue it. I think they would wait for the next movie, which I think Robert Rodriguez has been always wanting to make an Alita 2.
And I hope they
and
do.
I think they teased it. Well, not teased. They left it off for for a sequel. And I think that would be a great opportunity for Hot Toys to release or maybe reissue, depending on what outfit she wears in the second movie for that figure. But you're right. The Terminator figure, it's going to be a while. It might be like one of those things where it might be like a 25th anniversary or something like crazy. Then they might do something special. But it's going to be a long time. I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. But a lot of but then I don't know. It's weird. It's weird how Hot Toys thinks, because like, you know what you guys said, it's like, how come there's an influx of all these crazy Nolan verse freaking figures? Like, what's going on? Even with statues, like, what the are we like? Is there something that we should know? Like,
you're right though. Yeah.
Man. Like, Will, Jazzy has a question for you. Do you think they'll reissue Yondu?
Oh yeah. So he said, do you think they'll reissue Yondu? Yeah. See, like, no. I don't. I mean, like, I don't think so. I mean, I don't think unless he gets to the point of like where it gets kind of ridiculous, where Hot Toys can no longer ignore it. Like right now, he's what, $500, maybe $500, $600,
steady 500.
Like even Hella, right? Hella's another. Like if he had asked about Hella, like that's another good question. Mario's comment. We just do. That's what we do. We just gaze into each other's eyes. Both named Will. That's all you can do at this point. So we talk about cats together, just bond about everything, manscaping, all of it. Yeah. So. But no, I don't think they reissue Yondu. Even though he's a Marvel character, I feel like he's not, I don't know. I feel like he's not a big enough character for them to reissue unless, like I said, they can't ignore it anymore. But what do you guys think? I'm happy to hear what you guys think.
I don't. Go ahead. Well, I mean,
I would just say, like with this, it's hard because you don't know. We none of us know like which one is going to get reissued or not. It's a question of how much you value time and your money. You know, like if you didn't buy Batman Begins, I think Batman Begins came out like 2013, summer exclusive. You're gonna hold out 7 years to save what, $100, $200. You know, so it depends on how much you want to do it for, and if you are, be ready for the consequences. Because like last week we had somebody who just bought, what was this, PJ? Somebody said they just bought
the Nightmare Batman
for $500. Be prepared. Like he paid $500 for that. Now he could have had both. If you're gonna make such decision, you know, like an educated guess, you know, you just and then you set yourself a limit, and kind of like Will, you know, I'm only gonna pay up to 550 or 500 for the DX13.
I paid $550 for him. Yeah.
If you think about it, you only overpaid because the original DX13 was what, $320.
Like plus shipping, so probably like $350.
Plus shipping, we're looking at $350. Back then, there was no tax. I know, but let's pretend that this person bought it not in 2014. You know, like he paid tax too, so you overpaid by maybe $100.
Right.
You know, so
and it was mint.
Like, right. So let's just say they reissued DX13 4 years from now. So you overpaid $100 and plus not a new figure. Is that, you know? Yeah. Now the time plus money value that you say, it's all relative to, I guess, to anyone how much you value that. But
he gave me a battle damaged authentic Hot Toys pair of pants to make a second figure, and an authentic Hot Toys shirt from the Terminator figure. It's a gray one, so I got extra parts with it too. So so those probably be like $30-$40 a piece too. So I mean, like, I end up getting a good deal. But yeah, like for that one, I felt I just needed to pay up for it because I don't think they're going to reissue it. And it's such an incredible figure. It might be my favorite Hot Toys figure now. Yeah, I love Arnold. So
yeah, I mean, no, you guys make seriously like really, really good points. But I don't know. There's so many options with Hot Toys, right? Especially now, like they're kind of going crazy with Star Wars. Before they weren't, but now they are. Marvel is starting to ramp up. You start to go, well, okay, yeah, it's great. You pay. I mean, I advocate if you're gonna really buy a figure and you really want it, try not to pay more than like $100 over retail for it, just because it just seriously hurts if you like. Again, like I think that person said that he bought like Nightmare Batman for 500 something bucks, and now they reissued it. Like that hurts. Hurts.
Especially if you just did it like a few months ago.
Yeah, I mean, and I just don't want for me, I've always been like, I want people to collect with me as long as they can, as much as they can, and I just would like people to last in the game, unless depending on like you really are like, listen, I want to complete my collection in 2 years, and that's it. I don't want to look at another hot toy after that. Yeah. Then okay, then go ahead, go crazy. But at the same time, just be smart. Don't sell your Marvel figures now. Wait until, I don't know. You just gotta don't see the trends. Just look at like pop culture in general. If you want to like really survive in the collecting game, look at sell your Star Wars figures now. Star Wars is hot. Don't sell Marvel because Marvel is not hot because they haven't released a movie in a while. I would say start selling it when Doctor Strange a movie comes out, because now we're getting really into it. Or even like, I think there's a whole bunch of Marvel movies that's releasing. Look at DC. Like, oh my gosh, I think I reviewed that Aquaman figure and I kept it for like a month and I sold it after because I really didn't like the figure, but I sold it for like maybe $200, which is like $25 for what I bought it for. But look at it, how much it's going for now. It's like 400 something bucks.
The Justice League Aquaman.
Yeah. Flash. Oh my gosh, everyone wants a Flash now. And you could have bought a Flash for what, optical? Like
under 200 maybe.
Under 200, like 185, 190.
A hype, man. Hype beast.
But that'll die down eventually.
Yeah. Kind of like Black Panther.
I don't know if it's going to die down, because you know why I say that? Because Flash had such a really epic scene in the Zack Snyder cut. Mm-hmm. Like huge.
MVP.
Like he literally saved the world. Like crazy. Him and Cyborg, which I don't know. I have a feeling. And like I said before, I think I mentioned in the groups that I think Hot Toys would release a Cyborg. If they could do Terminator...
Right.
If they could do IG-11, which is even like a crazier, like, people are like, oh, they won't make a Cyborg because they got small parts and blah, blah, blah. Well, how about IG-11? That's pretty intricate. Like that figure is pretty intricate with all its like details and everything. So why wouldn't they do a Cyborg?
Yeah, they already showed the proto. They already showed they can do it.
Yeah, we can make the argument on the first movie because he didn't really play
exactly optical.
But after this movie, it's kind of like, well, you know. They made Drax. I know it's not much, but
the demand is there.
Now the demand is here. It's not one of those demands kind of like, give me Drax. Those people just want to complete the lineup. This is like legit cry for it was like, dude, he's so good. Just give me a character.
It's kind of been like that with Nebula a little bit. You know what I mean? Like everyone wanted Nebula, and she's kind of sitting a little bit now. You know what I mean? Like Hot Toys is probably like, I told you so.
Yeah.
No. Well, see, here's the thing. It's always the case, but then Nebula will sell out, just like Yondu.
Yep.
And then people are gonna go crazy over like trying to look for that figure.
I don't think so. Like Yondu, because Yondu's dead, and Nebula's still gonna be in the next movie.
That's true. But will they make another Nebula? That's the point. You know what I mean? Even if she's in another movie, will they make another one?
What with Drax? Drax is kind of like in the cyborg category because he doesn't have small moving parts, but he needs to be seamless to look good. And that Drax does not look good. The only reason it's expensive is because it's rare, because they didn't do much, but it doesn't look good. Those are one of those things where if I was collecting, I wouldn't pay a premium for that. I would pay a premium for DX13 because that DX13 still looks good up to now compared to that Drax, which is arguably newer than DX13.
And I think to James, I think it was James's question. He said, like, when do you guys sell figures? Like, that's a really good question. Like,
hold on, Will.
Oh, okay.
That's where we're going to.
Oh, okay. I don't
That's
want to
our
jump the
main
gun
topic.
then.
Because I have a bunch here. I don't know if we're gonna finish all of those. So I'm just gonna put like a banner in here, and
Oh,
then we'll
okay.
just like quickly, because I know we have a lot of. I don't think we're gonna finish this because I was like working earlier and this just popped in my mind. I was just like, all right, so that's a good segue. Is there scalping, or is it just market value?
So this is I think the common definition of scalping. This is one that I totally agree with. Scalping is like what's happening with PS5s right now, right? That's where bots and scalpers are buying all of the supply and capitalizing on a big demand and not allowing people to get the supply, right? And then selling it for twice as much,
Yeah, because I want my effing 3080, my Nvidia GTX or
See?
RTX 3080.
See?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I heard parts are hard to get right now.
Well, 3080 Ti is coming out in April. Anyway, sorry.
See? Well, you're right. The exact same concept, right? But here's the difference. Like Hot Toys is not like that. These figures like are readily available for months most of the time. Besides, like even Heavy Mando, right? He was up for pre-order for a long time. Like he's readily available for you to purchase. Like I think people kind of get a little crazy about this. I think usually people in the groups will check those people. Like if someone lists a Heavy Mando for 450 and that's his market value, I'm totally okay with that because he didn't scalp that figure. Like that's like he's the person selling it for market value. Like if I have something you want, I'm not going to sell it to you for what you think you should pay. I'm going to sell it to you for what I think you should pay, what the market value is. And if you don't want to buy it, that's your prerogative. But like that's not how the market works. Like the price is what the market dictates, right? So scalping is buying all the product and then selling it for twice as much and pissing everyone off. Like what Dwight did in the office when he bought the unicorn girl, right? And he sold them to everybody in the town, right? Same deal. But these what they're doing with the PS5s, right? Hot Toys is not like that. So selling for market value is more than reasonable. I'm fine with it. Like it's what the market dictates, and that's free market for you. So I'm okay with that.
Unfortunately, I totally agree with you. Unfortunately, we already have a lot of scalping. They're called resellers. So,
oh, you mean like the Hong Kong sellers?
Yeah. So, yeah. So basically, they're they're buying all the products, and they're selling it to all of us for a higher price. From what you know what I'm saying. So
I do, but I don't feel like they're.
It's just they're just like Jordans. Like people buy up all the Jordans and then they sell it.
But that only works, I think, if people can't get it. You know what I mean? I think they're not buying enough where people can't get the product. Like Jordan's people, will buy.
They can get the product. They just gotta wait.
Exactly. So they're buying in that sense, but like that's, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I would call that scalping, but I think it's more like, I don't know, like opportunity.
I mean, what's the definition of scalping?
To me, it would be like, in my personal definition, would be buying all of the supply. And then
as much as you can, though, because you can't buy all the supply.
Right. Well, shit, the PS5 people are doing it. I mean, they're buying.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of bots out there.
Right. The bots are impossible to beat. I mean, trust me, I've tried. You guys did it. I don't know how you did it, but I've like literally those bots. I've researched this. Like those bots.
Yeah.
The second it goes in stock, they're sold. Like those bots automatically buy them before a human could ever check it out. So like that to me is scalping. Like. That's different.
And that's basically what a lot of the resellers are doing. You just don't realize it because they're over. We're gonna get those products. Yeah, we are. It's just gonna take maybe a couple months or so.
Right.
But they know, just like Jordans, like a lot of these shoes. The reason why I know a lot about this because my wife, she's a sneakerhead and she always like goes crazy over, and I'm always trying to help her out with that. That also helps me collect more. But anyway, so basically, yeah, it's a win-win. But the thing is, they're buying up as much as they can, even though they're only allowed, what was it, one pre-order optical per person.
Yeah,
they're getting their moms, their dads, their friends, their family to all pre-order this stuff and to buy as much as they can and resell it to us for more than what Hong Kong is really like. What the actual retail value of it is. So there's that. So who knows how many people bought the Heavy Mando and how many were left for Sideshow, before it even got, released. So I don't know. It's just hard with the scalping and the market value because now, there are a lot of people out there that are trying to turn this I don't know, Hot Toys into more of a stock market rather than more of a collecting aspect. Because now people are going to go say, hey, listen, I heard it from this. Yeah, there you go. That's a perfect example of someone just taking advantage of Hot Toys,
Right.
you know?
I would say though, like I get both of you. This is a picture from 1/6 corner because I know Jenny and we know we talked.
Mhm.
This is the reason why Rocket is what he is right now, because the scalpers in Hong Kong did this. They did a ton of pre-orders, so there's more supply than demand for Rocket
Yeah.
and Spider-Man. So I agree to a degree to PJ where they're doing that. Like that's why the first batch releases are so expensive because it all goes to them. However, nowadays it's kind of harder and harder to scalp, I suppose, for Hong Kongers because of the
Right.
Thanos and
Yep.
Rocket, because they're losing money. Like they lost a lot of money in here. Maybe
Night
that would teach
Monkey.
them a lesson, So I don't know.
Night Monkey, they lost a lot of
Maybe.
money.
See, the thing is though, like, I think, Optical, we talked about it with Justin's collection, like how much the actual value, if you convert the Hong Kong dollars to US dollars, how much these Hot Toys are really worth. And you're like, oh shoot, like
I know.
that's not a lot. So basically, yeah,
But then
okay,
again,
they
dude,
sell.
didn't we talked about that like at first? Like, sorry, to cut you off, video, but the first time he was on the stream, I told him that the profit margin from for Hot Toys is probably like $100, right? And he
Mhm.
was just like, no, it can't be. Probably like 30. Why is it that Spider-Man? Do you think they're losing money on Spider-Man, or they're just
No,
making
they're just
money out of Spider-Man? They're
they're just
not
making
losing money. They're just breaking
even,
even.
breaking
Like,
even.
because
Yep,
like, do you think
absolutely.
Tim Cent would send Spider-Man? Let's say shipping from Hong Kong is $50, right?
Mhm.
Because that Spider-Man Deluxe is heavy. I got it for
Right.
210 shipped. So that means he got it for 160. 160. And do you think Hot Toys is made that entire figure for 160? No, they need
No.
to make profit out of that. So they
Right.
sold it for 160 maybe to Tim Cent, for example,
I
right?
I don't think he gets any special prices though, does he?
I don't think he does. That's why I'm
Yeah.
saying that the profit margin from Hot Toys is big, and then you add Sideshow into it. So
Right.
when we were talking in the first stream, we were just like, no, they're just making $30. It's close your company if you're just making $30, $40 out of these.
No, they can't be. It's got to be more.
It's
No,
gotta
it's
be more.
more. It's
Like
more.
it's like going to McDonald's. Those burgers that they made, it's like pennies.
Right.
Like pennies.
Like
Those
popcorn
big-
at the movie theater costs like nothing to make, and
Yeah.
they're charging you $10 for it. I mean,
Yeah. And I mean, I just feel like, like if anything, those resellers are just making even if they have to like, sell it, because I would do the math and I'm like, oh, that's not that bad. And I would hit up, one of the guys over there and I'm like, how much? Oh, and I'm like, damn, that's not your price. Why are you I mean, I'll take
Right.
it,
Yeah.
so I could get my figure early, but why? But they have to make some money, man.
Right.
Like they have to make some money.
and
And it's just crazy because it just kind of, I don't know, it's like even though we think that our market is here, but it really starts in Hong Kong, because how many people are overpaying to get day one Hot Toys?
But the funny thing, PJ, is like on that stream. So PJ, because
Mhm.
I think Justin is an advocate where it's only 180, for example. So you're not
Mm.
paying 300, even though you're paid 300 to Sideshow.
Mm.
For example, that deluxe Spider-Man.
Mm.
It's not 300. In his brain, it's like 180 because that's the price in Hong
Yeah.
Kong, for example.
right.
And we talked about it, and I was just like, he has a guy in Hong Kong who doesn't even buy directly because it's so hard to get Hot Toys from Hong Kong, even though you're from Hong Kong. So they
Right.
pay someone. So Hong Kong's market is not for Hong Kong. Like Hot Toys market is not to like, hey, we're going to make Hot Toys so we can sell it in Hong Kong. No, they
Right.
make it to sell it here or other parts of the world. So even if the
Right.
person, whatever his name is, Ryan,
Mhm.
pay someone to buy it. So he's not even getting the actual price. So he's adding
Right.
more.
And
Yeah.
So-
And
Yeah.
that's what my reseller always tells me. Like he always says, PJ, like as soon as you know something, put the deposit down for like, like I think I advertised the deluxe Mando. I think he was selling for like 480 or something like that, right? For day one. I was like, guys, hit him up, use my code, blah blah blah. You save a lot of money. The next you know, he only had 10 of those figures or those sets, and they sold out pretty quickly. And then now people are hitting him up. It's like, hey, can you get this? And he goes, well, let me hit up this other guy, this other reseller, and let's see how much he pays. And the other reseller's like, well, guess what? Let's split this profit. You know, you get like $20 and I get like 60, you know, and here it is. And then you're like, well, he comes back at you and says, okay, now it's 680. And you're like, what? Wait, you were advertising it for like 480 before. How come it's 680 now?
Right.
Well, because he sold out his pre-orders.
Yeah.
It's hard to, you know, Hong Kong Hot Toys tries to regulate all these resellers by trying to do it one per, but obviously they cheated the system,
Right.
and they get their, you know, all their friends and family to help them out to, you know, make their business going.
Yeah. And like for me, like, so I totally see what you're saying, PJ. I think if we were living in Hong Kong, I might see it more as scalping. But to me, like the key distinction to make here is that we don't have the opportunity to buy from Hot Toys directly. So like what the resellers are offering.
What we do is just that it depends on how much you want it right away.
No, but I mean, like, it's not like I can go on Hot Toys website and buy Captain America right now. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
there's the resellers are offering something that you would never have available to you otherwise. So like, it's not like, you know, like if I want day one and the resellers didn't exist, how would I get it? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, there's no other way.
You would
get
just
it.
wait for a sideshow, which
Right,
is just basically, again, how much you want it.
So that's why I'm saying, like, to me, that's why
Like-
it's not scalping. It's them offering you a service. Whether you want to pay it or not is the question, but that's everyone's prerogative. But I don't see it as scalp. I think it's opportunist, but I don't think it's scalping
It's
necessarily.
Scalping because you're overpaying
Well, I
for
guess
it's like me going out and buying all the Jordans. And then
But that would be different if no one else could get Jordans and you
Right.
bought them all. You know what I mean? Like, but
Well,
if like we can get any figure we want, I mean, if
yeah,
you're willing
but
to wait for it.
yeah, but then people still pay. So they're taking advantage of the system, right?
Sure.
And then they're scalping. In my opinion, they're scalping.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I
because
think people
it's like-
willingly
it's like-
sign up for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we mean,
I guess like when I did that question, it's mostly when we sell, right?
Right.
Like for us individuals, like
Mhm.
when we sell, because sometimes if you like, I can price my, I don't know, let's just say Nebula for $1,000, and people would laugh at me, right? But I have the right to sell Nebula for $1,000. No one would buy it.
Absolutely.
No one would buy it. Now people are gonna, like if it sells out and they're gonna be, you're just a, like you hear that word thrown a lot, like you're just a scalper. I think that term became synonymous to
Market value.
opportunity,
right.
right? Because
Right.
let's say Black Panther died, and it became
yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, okay, and I always try to go back to our Mark 46, right? Because I love that figure. And the thing is, and here's, and I'm gonna quote, I would say paraphrase a guy that worked in Sideshow, and he was selling a lot of the figures. I don't know if he used to work at Sideshow or is, but anyway, he was selling a lot of his figures, and a lot of them were over retail, right? A lot of them were sold out. But he said, people were like, "Oh, that's a lot of money. Are you a scalper?" Well, he goes, "Listen, I love these figures, but this is how much I am willing to let these figures go.
Yeah.
This is how much it's going to take for me to let this figure. I love this figure, but this is how much it's going to take for me to sell it. Like, I love that Mark 46, but shoot, if someone offered me $800 for it, I am putting the plastics back on those things perfectly, and you could take it, and I'll wait for the reissue."
Right. Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, and like it would be different. Like if it were a limited edition statue, right? For example, like the Queen Studios Joker, right, has 300 pieces. That's a pretty small edition size, right? If a site didn't have one per customer and someone went and bought 15 of them, right, out of a 300 edition size, that to me would probably be scalping because that's not really a readily available item. You know what I mean? Like that's something that's going to sell out super quick. I mean, so like, and they, with the intention of selling them, obviously not displaying 15 of them, like that to me would be scalping. But a Hot Toys, which are readily available.
But doesn't that prove my point about like some of the resellers where they know that people are willing to buy day one?
I know.
I get what
I
you
get what
mean,
you're
but
saying too,
Yeah.
PJ. Like, cause like back then, like now might not be that intense because it's there's a lot of hot toys, except for a few.
Mm.
But back
right.
then, if you wanted day one, you got to pony up, and let's say Toys Wonderland. You want day one, either you pay 150 or not, because there's not readily available. Before it was just like either Toys Wonderland's going to buy all of the first batch.
Mhm.
Now Toys Wonderland has all of it now, or Team Send. But now you got all of these day one
Right.
collectibles, and so they
See,
kind
that
of
would be
like,
more of a problem to me. You know what I mean? That would be
yeah.
like, okay, that's scalping. And I get what you mean, PJ. Like the distinction for me, like I said, is just they're offering you a service. Like, do you want it early or do you not? And like, are you willing to pay that or not? And like,
Well,
I get kind of scalping, but it's just kind of
It's just like scalping for concert tickets, right?
if you
Like,
couldn't
yeah.
get the ticket.
yeah, and I couldn't get the Hot Toys right away.
But there's
It's
like,
it's just
there's no other way to get the figure besides the reseller day one, though. That's my point. You know what I mean?
speaking of day one, okay, so do you guys day one or day 90?
I've like very rarely bought
if
day
I
one.
wasn't seriously, if I was doing YouTube day 90, absolutely without
Yeah.
without like, dude, why would you even pay? Like, for example, Heavy Mando, and this is going back to my concert point, right? So Heavy Mando right off the gates was like $500, $600, $650, right? And then next thing you know, it didn't even hit like people didn't even get it yet. It was already waitlisted, right? So, or maybe a couple people got it here and there and it got waitlisted, right? So I don't know. It's just like it's crazy. Like people would pay that amount of money for a day one figure,
So,
Right.
well, I'm devil's advocate. We're not doing YouTube because this is mostly our little thing here is for the masses. So I guess we're all in here. If we're not doing YouTube, day 90, meaning sideshow.
Right.
Absolutely. Day 90, or even I would hit up like Big Bad Toy Store
Yeah.
or anywhere I could save money, because basically for me, if I wasn't doing YouTube, I would hit up my boy Heroes and Villains Gallery, because he gets it like way cheaper than even Sideshow, and I don't have to pay tax. So
And you're supporting a local shop. That's always cool.
yeah, supporting a local shop and stuff like that. Absolutely. But unfortunately, it's just one of those where, everybody wants to watch like the latest video as soon as it comes out. And then, for example, how many, like, IG-11, I was like, man, I noticed like there was a drop in my views, right? And I was like, damn, maybe I'm doing something wrong. No, it's because there's more reviewers getting day one figures. And now, and plus, Justin, he's got the market, like, not the market that side of.
He's got it cornered. Yeah.
He's got it cornered. So no one's really touching him.
And you're
at
right,
this
PJ.
point.
Like if you're a YouTuber, like you really have no other choice. Like if you're not reviewing day one, then I mean, you can't compete. I mean, it's really hard, at least. I mean, because you're 3 months behind everyone else. I mean, like you're running a race that people already finished 3 months ago. I mean,
can you imagine?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, but like, so it's a good question though. Like day one, I've bought very few day one figures. Like for me, it really comes down to cost, because I haven't reviewed any Hot Toys. I'd love to start reviewing them more. I mostly do statues and movies and stuff. So like, I haven't done any Hot Toys, but I would love to. But it really just depends on the figure for me, like, and the cost. Like Optical, you brought up a really good point, like with the price, right? Like, so if like a lot of times, like day one for Iron Man, for example, is ridiculous. Like I would never pay that even if I wanted to review it, because it's like 2 times the figure a lot of times. I mean, it's like, or 1.5 times. It's just too much. But like sometimes, like I remember, and I didn't get it, and I probably should have, like Avengers Loki that's coming out, right? Sideshow, he's like $260. Like Tim Cent had him for like, I think $305 shipped, like first day. Like that's like, that's like $20-$30 more than I pay on Sideshow, and I can get it 3 months sooner. Like, so I would do that probably, which I didn't, but I probably should have. And like for a figure like that I'm super hyped for. And another thing people don't consider, like it depends on where you buy from, obviously, but it's a hell of a lot easier to get a replacement from Sideshow or Big Bad Toy Store or wherever than it is to get one from a Hong Kong seller. So
Absolutely.
there's so much more security. Like if you're willing to wait, there's so much more security with buying from a North American retailer.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Can I give an example?
yeah.
So I had I think it was one of my Empire Strikes Back Darth Vader figures, right? And
Okay.
I forgot, it was maybe like one of the hands was broken or something like that. Anyway, I asked for like a replacement, ahead of my guy, and my guy was like, "Okay, send me the part back." Right? So I had to send it back to him. He would take that part, go to secret base, give them the part, and then they would go in the back and see if they have a replacement part and give it to him.
Right.
And then ship it back to me.
It's not fun.
Yeah.
That is a pain in the butt,
Dude, it's even a pain with retailers like in America, non-Sideshow. Because I've had to deal with that. Like I had a wall swing that was broken at Pop Culture Zone. They were great about it, but it took forever. I mean, I had to send them the wing. It got lost in the mail. They sent it back to me. Then I had to send it again. Then they had to send it to Sideshow, and they had to check the part. It took like literally like 2 months. I mean, like it's like Sideshow. I could have just messed with them, like, okay, destroy it. We'll send you another one. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I'd rather pay for that.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
Yeah. It's crazy.
And when people was like, "Oh my gosh, like the shipping is like so expensive." Well, you have to think, like, if something happens, they give you the shipping label for free.
Right.
They give you another part or maybe another figure for free, depending on how badly damaged your figure or your part is. And no questions asked. Shoot, sometimes some people want to pay that extra, $10-15 for that peace of mind because
Yeah.
But yeah, no, seriously, if I wasn't doing YouTube, and sometimes I'm like, oh man, maybe should I get this? I don't know. Like, I don't know. That's why I kind of like went back to just like doing like day one for only Star Wars now, because to do it day one for all of them, it's really hard because I got to put a deposit down. Yeah, it's because usually I don't like putting deposits down and stuff because it adds up, right?
Yeah.
But now if I'm doing a review for all like Marvel, Star Wars, and I don't know, Hellboy, Alita, Terminator, Batman, DC, imagine me putting all like deposits down, and it's not like $20. They require like is it a 15% deposit? I forget, 25% deposit, which is like $75, to secure your day one pre-order price and stuff.
Some of them require full. Some of them require 100%.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I would.
So I guess
day 90.
What do you think, Optical? Are you on the same page?
And it's funny because I saw one comment here from Sindel Simp, I believe. People don't want to watch review of a figure 3 months later. Thank you, Sindel, because I do it 6 months.
By the way,
later.
love that avatar. Holy moly,
that's pretty cool, actually.
I love Sindel.
It's true though. I mean, like
it is true. I don't
Justin's
get
even
much
said
views.
That.
Yeah.
Well, no, your reviews are excellent, but I'm just saying, like it's so late. You know what I mean? Like
except
Justin,
for if it's Star Ace.
No, those are supremely excellent.
That is day one for me.
Right, day one Star Ace. Because you can pay below retail for day one. That's why.
Day one Star Ace. So
they give it to you.
They give it to you for free.
Thank you.
They please take this, please.
Optical. This is day -20.
The pre-order was 5.
I would say I can't wait for the Planet of the Apes, and it's not out yet. And that Joker from the Ninja Batman, I love those.
Okay, yeah.
But
yeah.
Let's segue to pre-order or buy when ready, because like back then, I would say.
And this all happened. This is all what you thought of during work,
dude. I'm working. It's Friday. That's what happens when you're working, man. I just started putting on them. I don't think we're gonna finish this because I have a long list. I thought this was gonna be like pre-order and buy.
Let's keep going. This Saturday tomorrow. All right, in the chat, give us a like if you want us to keep going through this list. Well, we'll stop at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
You guys are gonna kill me.
But I would say though, like back then, and when I first started, like you got to pre-order, otherwise it'll be gone. Now it's very certain figures. There's like a few heavy Mando exception, but majority of the figures you have the opportunity to buy them right now. I'll just put it out there for because it's easy to say pre-order. But then again, things could change. Like for example, the Thanos, the armor Thanos, you pre-ordered it, and then 2 months later they announced the battle damage Thanos, which arguably is the better Thanos.
Yeah.
That could happen. So there's always a risk on pre-order or
Mhm.
buy, like when it's ready or when you're getting close to it. You're getting close because you see people posting that they received their item, right? And not everything is heavy Mando, where it's going to be sold out before pre-ordered. So there's pros and cons in this. I want to hear your thoughts, you guys, on this one.
That's you're right though. Heavy Mando is a very rare isolated case. I mean, like just in my experience with collecting, you guys have been around a little bit longer than me, but with the game the way it is now, like it's extremely rare for an item to sell. Sometimes the item will sell out not long after it comes in stock, like Han Solo from the Solo film, right? Like he wasn't in stock very long, and Mud Trooper was barely. He might have been Heavy Mando. I mean, like
Mud Trooper was like Heavy Mando.
Yeah.
Where he didn't even like hit the shores and
and he was sold out. Like because I think the pre-order number was so low, and it just was like sold out. So like sometimes that will happen. But like it's like 96% of the time that's not going to happen. So like it's like even right now, like Mark 85 is sitting on the shelves, right? And people love that figure. When he sells out, I'm sure he's going to be a hot ticket. But
isn't Mark 50 on the shelf still?
Yeah.
Sorry, Will.
Yeah, no, you're right though, Peter. That's an excellent point. I mean, he is. So because Infinity War, I feel like they oversupplied. Thor Infinity War, I think they like reissued him, so he's on the shelf too. Cap just sold out.
Oh really?
Yeah, Infinity War. I think he finally sold out.
Oh my God! Hallelujah!
Yeah,
Jeez.
so his price actually went up a little bit in the aftermarket. I saw because
there's still Chitauris out there. Imagine if you pre-order those.
Yeah, dude, they've been out like forever. I got them on Pop Culture Zone or Pop Culture from Australia for like $130 shipped, like 2 of them. So I mean, like it was crazy. But like, yeah, like I pre-order things I really want. For example, like Nightmare Batman and Superman, right? Like I'm almost certainly going to get those figures, but I have not pre-ordered them yet because I know they're probably going to be readily available when I'm ready, right? So like the smaller retailers, like maybe a Comic Concepts or like Alter Ego Comics I bought from, places like that, they'll sell out, but Sideshow won't. So like, generally speaking, Nightmare Batman and Superman are such hot items, they're not going to sell out on pre-order. So like it's stuff like that. Like if it's a figure though that I'm just like super hyped for and I can't pre-order fast enough, I'll do it. But like I've got to really, really, in my opinion, you got to really, really know you want the figure to hit that pre-order button. Like because you're losing a deposit otherwise. So and I don't just have $25-$30 to throw away every couple weeks. You know what I mean? So like right.
To Will's point, you got burned with Gandalf.
They refunded me luckily.
That's like, they did, but I mean that's Asmus. But imagine if it's like Sideshow.
Right, I pre-ordered the Hot Toys Child, right? Because I got a little bit crazy with it, and I have Sideshow, and I canceled. I lost $40. So I mean, like, I don't like getting burned like that.
Yeah.
And this is before you answer, PJ. This is just through Hot Toys because I know Statue's a different game. It's limited and all that
edition,
stuff.
Right.
Talking about Hot Toys here.
Yeah. By the way, I just want to shout out Amber Racy. She's an awesome YouTuber as well. I watched her old videos before, and she made me buy my second statue, which is the Darth Vader.
Very cool.
Does Lord of the Rings Asmus,
and she does Lord of the Rings as well. She's a big Lord of the Rings fan. I think she has a lot of Weta stuff.
Oh, she's got to get the Prime 1 then.
Yeah, but for me, I don't pre-order until the very last minute. Like once it's released in Hong Kong, like say if I'm not doing YouTube, right? And once like IG-11, perfect example. I would have hit that pre-order button right now. I'm not waiting for IG-11 to hit Sideshow, like in the Sideshow's warehouse, because I'm gonna tell you right now, IG-11 is the next Mando, because that figure is not an easy figure to make, and I'm not sure, or I'm kind of sure that I don't think there's a lot made, and it's going to be a long wait till we get another IG-11. If we get another IG-11, it's going to be IG-88, and because I don't even know if IG-11 is going to come back in the future seasons, right? And if he does come back, when will that be? When will we get the next IG-11? Right. So if you're on the fence with IG-11, pre-order that. Hit that pre-order button now. Like don't put yourself in that position where you're like, oh shoot, and it's another Heavy Mando situation again. But yeah, I don't pre-order. I wait. I try to gauge it. I wait for the final production photos. Um, when I see the final production photos and I go, wow, that looks good. Pre-order.
There you
You
go.
know,
That's smart.
that's when I know, because sometimes you're like the Justice League Wonder Woman. I remember I was so hyped because you remember those pre-production pictures? They look so good.
Good. Yeah.
And then when the final production photos came out, I'm like, what the hell happened there?
Yeah.
Right.
So
it can go wrong fast.
Yeah, you can get burned. I would say you're more likely to get burned than not. Like the chances of you being safe that you don't pre-order is better than when you pre-order, and it becomes a heavy Mando situation.
Right.
Well, speaking of that, another thing too is that you guys know I sold a few Hot Toys lately. So Wilty asked earlier, when do you sell Hot Toys? So forget the price, right? So no, not forget the price, but when do you guys sell something? Is it for value when it's at its peak, or when you're running out of space, or none of these two?
So go ahead, PJ. I'll let you take this one first.
For me, so I sold most of my, actually, if not all my Marvel figures and the non Star Wars figures a while ago, just because I started to notice that I was, Hot Toys is ramping up the Star Wars figures. Like they were just pumping out like a whole bunch of, and then I realized like, shoot, like I gotta like focus. A, I'm running out of space, and B, I gotta focus on just like on Star Wars now. I can't collect all of them, so for Star Wars, I don't really sell it. I don't really sell it. If anything, if I have like an extra figure, or I know like a figure is going to get reissued, I'm going to sell it, and I'm going to sell it for, I'll try to get the most out of it, but besides that, I don't really sell too many Star Wars Hot Toys figures. So I'm not sure if that helped any.
If you're going to sell a Hot Toys figure, like a Star Wars Hot Toys, let's just say, would you ever sell Obi-Wan, the deluxe? Because it's kind of
no
for value.
No.
So you would never sell for value then.
No,
Only for Star Wars.
$800, PJ.
Oh, if it's 800, not Mark 46.
See, we know he has a price.
Yeah.
That 46, man. Oh, I love that figure, man. That 46 was hot.
It's a great figure.
It's one of my. I don't know. I don't have the Mark 7. I heard the Mark 7 was really good as well.
So good.
So I don't know. I gotta get that figure in, but I don't know. All right, so I sold the light side Anakin. That one was like I sold it like
for value.
For value.
Peak.
Because because I'm getting the Clone Wars version of Anakin, and if anything, if I need a light side Anakin, I would have taken that head sculpt and put it on the dark side body. But I'm fine with the dark side Anakin. I'm never selling that one. That's for sure. So light side Anakin, I needed space and I sold it for value. So both, you could say.
Yeah. Yeah. So like for me, it really depends. I do both. For example, I can give an example here. Like, and I was talking to you guys about this. I had Deluxe Endor Luke, right? So I capitalize on the hype of The Mandalorian because I still think they're going to announce a Mando Luke. Even if they don't, he's going to have his own show. Like, he's going to get another figure. So like, and I like that figure a lot. Like, it's a really good one. I wasn't in love with it. I forget how much I sold it for, but it was well above market value. So like, and I capitalized because I knew I was like, the iron is hot. There's never been a better time to strike than now. So, and if I feel
that's a great choice, man.
Yeah, and I sold him for a really good price, and like I got my money's out of him, and I don't feel like I don't actually have a Luke right now, and that's upsetting. But I don't feel like I really missed that figure particularly. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those, like, generally what I'll do. Sometimes we all do this. I think like sometimes I'll go in and just look at my collection because you have it. You like to marvel at it, right? So sometimes I'll turn all the lights on, look at everything, and I'll look at figures sometimes, and I'll be like, I've kind of fallen out of love with this figure. Right. So like, and that's a moment where I'll sell. Like, if I feel I can get a fair price. So I do both. Like, if the market is never going to be higher and you really could live without this figure, that's fine. For me, space is another big thing. Like if you sometimes like, because I've gotten a lot of statues in over the last however many months, and like sometimes like I'm like, hey, like I want to sell a few figures to make room for the statue that I really want. And it's stuff like, for example, like some figures that I could see myself selling down the line would be like Wasp or Ronin, stuff like that I really like now, but I could see myself in a year or two being like, I don't need this. You know what I mean? Like, and I could take the money and use it. Like, I just sold Civil War Cap, right? And I'm not striking while iron's hot with that one because Endgame Cap's coming out. But I talked to you guys about it. I didn't feel like I needed both. I love that figure, but I didn't feel like I needed both because they're so similar. So, like, for me, like, I'm all about space and value, but like, it really just, to me, depends on the love of the figure. Like, if I really love something in my collection, like, the Pennywise or Avengers Loki or stuff like that, like some of the other statues, like the Bane statue I have from Prime 1, like those I wouldn't sell because like I really love looking at those. But some figures I can fall out of love with, and just depends on the character in the figure.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's really hard with or different with Marvel because sometimes like like for example that Endgame Cap and Civil War Cap, they're so similar in almost like outfits that you're like, well, yeah, no, I see where you're coming from. Like, okay, I have Endgame Cap. Why do I need Civil War Cap?
Yeah,
right.
I think that's where the space kicks in because obviously value is not in there. Where
like literally, I could sell Civil War Cap to literally, and I sold him for $275. I could literally sell him to buy Endgame Cap, so it's a 1-for-1 trade essentially. So like, and that I felt was fair.
Yeah. So
space.
Yeah, space, and then it's sometimes it's a little bit of both, right? Like sometimes like if like for me, like Kylo Ren, that's another figure I sold because I was getting the Rise of Skywalker Kylo Ren because I just love the broken helmet. I just love the hood on his cape.
Really cool.
It's really cool. The head sculpt is, I gotta see it and wait. I gotta wait and see when when they release the final production pictures, like how it turned out. But I feel like Hot Toys would nail it because they nailed the second one, right? The Last Jedi version. But I sold it for value as well. Like I sold for space and I sold for value because do I need 2 Kylo Rens in my collection? If I was a big, huge Kylo Ren fan, yes. But then if I was just like, well, I really just want one version of the character, then you try to sell it for both, right?
Right.
So
absolutely.
Yeah. It's a I think we all do both at some point. Sometimes you walk into your room and you're gonna be like, this is disgusting. Why are they just all standing right there and with no spaces?
Right.
So you start picking up like the Civil War caps. I think it hurts a little bit more when you start selling the things that you kind of like.
Right.
Now that's where the value kicks in. Like you're gonna be like, all right, I don't really want to sell this, but if you offer me this,
right.
Mark
46.
Yeah, and by doing that, you got both. You got value and space because if you're not gonna miss it that much. Speaking of spaces, boxes, do you guys keep it or throw it away?
You gotta keep it.
I know I talked to you, Will, about at least this is not Hot Toys, but the Last of Us Collector's Edition. It's a huge box.
I still have it. Yeah, I still have it. But like, dude, it's such a tough call, but like for me, it's an easy call because like I get the space thing. My closet is literally full of Hot Toys boxes. So like,
and I know you guys collect statues, and that's even worse.
Yeah, luckily,
well, luckily
I have an attic. Yeah, I have a storage. Like I don't have a storage like PJ does. I have an attic. Luckily, I can get. But a lot of the like to get up in the attic, it's a small, narrow entrance. So like I can't really get a lot of big boxes up there. I've got a few up there, but it's kind of hot. So like I take the accessories out beforehand. But so storing the accessories is another game because I got to find somewhere to store those, right? Because I don't want to put them up in my hot attic. I mean, like that's not good for them. So, but like, dude, selling the packaging of a figure, like you lose so much value. For one, if it's the statue, how the hell are you going to ship it?
Right. I get it for the statue part, right?
Yeah, but for Hot Toys, even like it's still difficult to ship without the box. I mean, like you just hope and pray that it's going to make it okay. I mean, like, especially if you have a lightsaber, that thing could get snapped in half. I mean, like it's like you got to keep like you've seen like people sell figures on the groups. If they're selling them loose, the value takes a big hit. I mean, like it's not like 50% big, but it's like 20. Like it might take 15 to 20 off your price. I mean, like it's Yeah.
Did you guys have a Hot Toys that you felt like I would never sell this? For example, I would never sell this. And let's I don't know how many of those you feel like about Hot Toys. And let's say like PJ, you rent a storage. How much do you pay yearly for that?
Well, that's a good question. Yeah.
Like would that equate to when you sell it without a box? You know what I mean? If we're talking about value,
yeah,
now you're spending to keep the boxes that you feel like would add value when you sell it.
Yeah.
Would you
Good
make
point.
that up?
Yeah, because I got a good deal on my storage unit. So
Yeah.
Okay.
and yeah, no, it would equate, probably less than what I pay for. Then no, wait, yeah, it's probably gonna be actually more than what I paid for. Like, if I kept the boxes, because sometimes like for a statue, it's different because it's hard with statues, right?
It's almost never, because if you try to sell that, how the heck are you?
Yeah,
like
how are you
with
gonna
Hot Toys,
ship
I
it?
can see them putting on the bubble wrap. I've had some loose Hot Toys that was sent to me in a bubble wrap, and figures tightly secured. You can get away with it. Statue you can't. That's why I didn't even put the statue in here. But Hot Toys, like, it's not a big deal if you have like 10 Hot Toys. But once you get to the 100 category, I mean, you're looking at massive.
I don't know what Justin does. He's got to have storage.
Because that's the thing, because that's a good question, right? Because if you think about it, if you're keeping it so when you sell it, you get money, but at the same time, when are you going to sell it and you're paying for the storage unit, that adds up the cost over time, right? So now if you're talking about monetary value, would that, unless you say, okay, you know what, I'm never going to sell Darkseid Anakin. Can you throw away the box safely because you made up your mind?
Well, I like the boxes. I always like the boxes.
I do too. They're cool.
And I keep my accessories in there. So
I do too.
Most of my Hot Toys, like art boxes, are in my house. They're in a closet, just like Will's. But the brown boxes, I just put it in storage. But I've sold, because when you buy straight from Hong Kong, they don't give you a shipper box. It comes straight. It comes with like some makeshift brown box, but it comes with the actual art box, which is fine. So if I were to resell those figures, I'm selling just the art box. There's no brown shipper box. I feel like the brown shipper box doesn't make or break your figure, like in terms of selling it. So you're not going to lose a lot of money. Like you're not going to lose like 20% of the value of the figure, right? If you didn't have your shipper box.
Yeah, no.
Maybe a couple bucks, maybe, but not really. Just as long as you just pack it really well.
I think Jassy commented earlier about the shipper box. I mean, I always keep the shipper box. So if you're keeping the box, you might as well keep the shipper box.
I do too.
You're talking about like maybe a quarter of an inch, maybe not even. That's not even a quarter of an inch that would make it up to the box. You know what I mean? Like if you throw it with the shipper box and you're keeping the art box, how much really space are you saving?
That's crazy that I've never put two and two together. That comment is perfect that you can flatten them. I'm gonna go do that after this podcast because they're up in my attic actually. Because those, like PJ said, like they don't have accessories in the shipper. So I mean, like I can just store those up in the attic and it's no problem. But like, I'm gonna flatten them.
Though, like how much space are you saving if you flatten them and you keep the art box? Because in an art box and you put the shipper box in, you're maybe like this much that's being added on four sides, right? Like, are you really gonna save? Let's say if you have 100 boxes, would you save at least just one box by flattening out all those shipper? Was it worth doing all that? Like I never got because they were like, well, why would you keep the shipper? I was like, if you're keeping the box, keep the shipper. If you're destroying the actual art box, then destroy the shipper. Because like the shipper box is literally this thin,
Right.
Like the moment it falls over and it dents the corner, the art box gets dented too. That's how thin they are.
Right.
So I never got the idea of why you would throw away the shipper box and not the art box.
I've seen it, but I don't get it either. You got to if you're going to keep one, keep both.
Yeah.
Keep both. Yeah, absolutely.
And I get who's that? The Iron Man collector back then. He lives in Hong Kong. Forgot his name. He's not active anymore.
Anthony Stark or whatever.
Budget Stark. Yeah, Budget Stark.
I
get it from that standpoint because they said like in Hong Kong, like real estate is so much that they you can't use their garage or whatever. I get that from that standpoint. Throw away your boxes. If the rent is too high,
right?
Like, that would offset the amount when you sell it or
different
whatever.
Circumstance. But yeah,
Yeah,
like yeah, go ahead, Optical. Sorry.
oh no, go ahead.
Yeah, like so an example I can give, like on the market value of a figure. Like this was like probably a year ago though, and the value was a little bit lower than it is now. Like I bought a Kylo Ren Force Awakens. I already had one, but this was such a good deal to pass up. I bought a second one. This is a complete figure, had all of its accessories except the box. I paid $90 shipped.
Ooh.
Like, right? So like $90 shipped, complete, perfect condition, came great, right? So they delivered it to the wrong house, so that was fun. But like when I went and got it, luckily it was on the neighbor's porch, and I like knocked and I was like, hey, like these are actually ours, and they have our names on them. So like, but yeah, so either way, yeah, like that can show you. Like I think at the time, like he probably could have got 130, 135 maybe had he had the box, but without the box, like it's a kind of a big thing. So
You have
like
like a leverage to
right,
kind of
it's not
negotiate.
complete. Like
Yeah.
how are you going to ship it? Like I'm taking on a little bit of risk here. I get it. Like so it's like you can kind of maneuver your way around it. So if a person doesn't have the box, like just if you're negotiating with them, kind of use that to your advantage.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
so the next one, let's assume we're all not living. Some of you guys are living in a castle or a big house, then maybe this doesn't apply to you. But I know
then,
this applies to
It
me.
doesn't apply to me.
Not anyone in this panel,
Ranked
that's for
with
sure.
All right, so better display equals less figure, more figures, crowded display. Even the high-end guy, which is what is his name? The statue collector, PJ. The one-
Oh, what's his name?
Which one?
extreme collector.
Yeah, Sheen
Those
Collectibles.
Oh,
beautiful
yeah,
pieces
right.
Is so crowded that you can't.
I'm sorry,
even
it's
appreciate them.
disgusting.
Yeah, so there's
I'm serious. It's disgusting. Like you have a problem.
Tell them
Yeah.
how you really
Um,
feel.
Just because I don't know. Like okay, I don't know.
so
Because I get it. Like no, I know what you're saying. Is that like if you're like I love like when people display and then they have like all Iron Man figures or all Marvel. There is a theme to it. It looks beautiful, right? But if you're just like have like this, that's just I'm sorry. Like
I don't know
that's-
whose picture is this. Hopefully you're not in the chat, but
That would be awkward.
Actually, that's
But-
mine. That was mine 2 years ago. Thanks.
Oh.
No, that's good.
Yeah, PJ, you've come a long way, man.
Yeah.
2 Rancors. Now it's taking up all that space with 2 Rancors.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, like, I try to have a theme, right? Like, even
Right.
though most of my collection is Star Wars, and the beauty about collecting is that, like, yeah, you could get all these figures, but to display them and display them well is another aspect of collecting, which makes it so much fun, right? And your creative juices start flowing. You're like, okay, well, you know what? If I put this up here with this art print, and then I put this figure with this statue, it's going to make this figure or statue pop, right? And that's the beauty about the collecting. But if you're just collecting and just buying everything, and just don't have like some sort of theme, it just becomes.
but I
Well-
like every character, PJ. I want to
Literally all.
You
of them.
have a problem. It's like you love every cat.
That's why he has
Right?
like 20 of them.
Then you have like 30 cats in your thing, and then there's a bunch of newspapers,
Newspapers.
No, I just say that because I do have some family members who are hoarders, right? And it's hard for them to get rid of that stuff. And I don't know, I have, one family member that collects a lot of like cell phones, like old, new, whatever. And then you're just like, okay, that's cool. All right. I don't know. When it just becomes too much, I just feel like it just becomes a problem.
But
right?
PJ, think about it this way. I know you only collect Star Wars. There's so many Star Wars, and you buy. Let's
I buy
eliminate
a lot.
all
Yeah.
Marvel. You are gonna come to a crossroad where it might look like this, even with only Star Wars, because statues takes up a huge space, right? So when
Yeah.
you do that, you have to sacrifice on certain characters,
And which I do.
right?
I think he
I-
will do that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
have done
this is
that,
eliminating
actually.
Marvel, right? I'm eliminating because I want to make this harder because
Oh, yeah.
I'm just sell all my Marvel, so that's easy. But if
Yeah.
it's like Star Wars, would you willing to sacrifice not buying, for example? Let's say you come to this point where, man, I just bought Rancor. Now your room is getting filled. Now your wife told you you can't use the living room to display all these statues, right? So now you got 2 options. You're gonna look like this, and you buy the Gamorrean guard, which the Gamorrean guard, for example, would be here. or you do not buy the Gamorrean guard at all.
So it comes down to the point where I just drown myself in Star Wars statues and figure. No, no, I'm actually coming to that point with Hot Toys, right? Like I've actually thought about it because there was a guy in the groups that was looking to buy a shock trooper, right? And I was like, I have a shock trooper. Do I really need this shock trooper? Because it's starting to get crowded in here, right? And I'm like, all right, well, I do want this shock trooper, but when will and seriously, Star Wars is getting to that point. Like Star Wars collectors are getting to that point in terms of Hot Toys collecting where they're gonna hit that crossroads where they go, man, I have to focus on Clone Wars, or I gotta focus on prequels, or I gotta focus on, Mandalorian, because they're just going crazy with all these Star Wars figures. Even Marvel, they've gone crazy, right? You start honing down, like, oh, I'm gonna just go do Endgame, complete my Avengers lineup, or I'm gonna do X-Men. So I feel that with collecting, there's a fine line, right? There's a fine line between like hoarding and collecting. And I feel like with collecting, you collect to appreciate the figures, right? You look at it, you admire it, you look at it when you have a long day at work. And for me with statues, if I had to come to that point where it's getting a little bit overcrowded, then I have to start and pick and choose which one I want to, which statues I valued the most, like my top 20, my top 30 statues that I want to keep, and the rest I have to sell. But you know what? It's okay for me to sell because you know what? I enjoyed those statues. I enjoyed those figures. That's why I always say in my reviews, if you're on the fence, just buy it, because you're going to enjoy them. You're going to appreciate their stay in your collection, and you could sell them and then keep collecting. And that's just beauty about collecting. You could do it, or you could just, I don't know, price yourself out and just end it. I don't know. I probably went on a rant, so sorry about that.
It's totally fine. I did the same thing.
No, but for me, like, this is perfect. This is someone that really thought about their display as they were collecting. Like, how am I going to display these figures instead of like, gimme, buy me, gimme, and then next thing you know, you have like a bunch of Hot Toys shipper boxes in your living room with some newspapers and 30 cats. Then you're like, what the hell's going on here? So
30 cats.
How about you, Will?
Yeah, so like I think optical, this picture is like a perfect example of what a good collection can look like when it's spread out and thoughtful. Like I think PJ makes a really good point too. Like I tend to really not like clutter. I think that's the biggest like negative con for me. Like basically I'm not I don't necessarily like, I'm not super big on, like I get a theme too, but I think there are, I think what PJ is saying too, and I agree, like there are like limits to that. Like for me, for example, I've never been big on like everything has to be the same scale. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, perfect.
That's kind of, you know what I mean? Like, and I feel like that's a good, some people are, and like, that's just not for me. But I think the biggest thing is clutter. Like if a display looks cluttered and there's way too much, my rule is that if I can't see at least most of the figure, then it's too much. Because like if the figure is like I can only see maybe their helmet or like barely them behind multiple figures, it's too much. Like I can't enjoy that figure. I can't even look at their whole figure. Like so like you know what I mean? Like it's like I have mine set up where so I have like basically in my cabinet I have like 6 Hot Toys and then 6 on cubes behind them, so you can see the whole figure behind them because they're raised up. Right? Same kind of deal. Amber.
Amber, I'm not targeting you. You don't have 30 cats.
She has 9 though.
Oh
no, but
you were targeting her, 21 then, PJ. You just didn't know it.
Yeah.
but yeah, like for me, I think a theme is important.
Amber has a nice display. I've seen her display. It's nice. It's not cluttered.
No. Yeah. I've never seen it, but I'm sure I'll take your word for it. I trust you. So, know, but yeah, like it's, I think the biggest thing is theme is important. But like I, for example, in this closet next to me, I have like quarter scale Iron Studios Thanos next to Prime 1/3 Joker, and it looks great. Like, I mean, like you know, like I have different scales, different universes, and they look cool because they're big statues. But if I had like 5 statues stacked on top of each other, that would be a problem. And I would just like, all right, I got to sell these. So, but yeah, I think really, like I said, the biggest thing for me is clutter. Clutter looks bad. It looks messy. It doesn't look like you like, and I tell the people do, but it almost looks like you don't put any thought into it. You know what I mean? Even though you do. Like, even though you put thought to arrange the figures, because it's probably even harder, but it just looks messy and crowded, you know?
Yeah.
So
I get it. Like with us, at least me and PJ, it's a bit harder because, and I'll just say this: to achieve this kind of display, you have to have an endpoint, right? Like, hey, once I get to filling all these cabs, I'm done. But once you review, you gotta have a vast majority of your figures to come in.
Oh, there you go.
And not all of them, you know, you kind of like want to, you know, keep. Some of them you don't intend to keep, but you do keep. So in this kind of display, there's an endpoint, you know, and but we know Hot Toys keeps on pumping out figures. So that means if you want to maintain the integrity of this look, someone has to come out.
Use your collection to fund your collection.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Yeah, so there's like and you know, like I guess what I'm trying to say is it everyone wants this, you know, everyone wants this, but the reality is some of us falls into the other one because you kind of want to have more figures. And I don't think there's right or wrong here. The other guy is not wrong. I mean, he loves every character, and go get it, man. Like if you're happy with what your display looks, that's fine. That's not the model display that, you know, but it's way of doing. I don't know. Sometimes you can't help it. Maybe the guy only has one room and he wants to buy every character. And you know, I don't see anything wrong with that as well. You do you if you're happy with, you know, with what it looks like. It's just that it's hard.
Subjective.
That is the struggles that we go through, that sometimes you just have to squeeze the Rancor with the Gamorrean guard, for example.
And you know what? And you know, for me, it's just becoming, because you know, I watched some of those hoarder shows, right? And when is enough is enough? When do you find yourself like you have a problem? You know what I'm saying? Like when you go, wait, I think by the way, Amber Racy, I wasn't targeting you, man. I think you have a beautiful collection, and I think this shows it. Look, this is
that
really
looks
just,
really that looks
I don't know
sick.
I don't even know what she's talking about. Like,
you're targeting her about the cats.
And dude, that looks like
I'm talking about 30 cats. She hasn't had 30.
She has
cats.
9. So she said she had 9.
She had
but
9.
Still,
but
like once a cat lady, always a cat lady. So.
Yeah.
No, I don't know Amber. She's probably great, but I love that Prime 1 Sauron, by the way.
Yeah, but see, you know,
Sideshow.
This is, look how beautiful this collection is. It's well thought of, well lit, and look how nice. Like it's beautiful. By the way, subscribe to her channel. But you know, it's really, really nice, and that's something that I'm looking to achieve in my collection, where you know, someone can say, come into my man cave or collection room, and they go,
you know, you're not getting out once you get into your man cave.
But you know what I'm saying, like, or my red room or whatever. I'm scared. No, but like, you know, you come into like the collection room and you go, wow, that looks cool. Not like, oh, like you feel claustrophobic. Like there's so many things coming at you, you know? I don't know. That's just me. And I'm with Will. I just don't like clutter. I don't want to get to that point where my collection's like that. If it is, then I need help, or I sell my figures.
You already need help. But okay, so
two Rancors.
I have more topics in here, but we're gonna end this in this last question here, because it is I guess a dilemma for Mercs collectors too, especially if you do reviews or you want to do reviews. We got JB collection here, Amber. Do you limit your purchase per month or year, or you just close your eyes and add to cart? Kind of like with 3 Jokers, 2 Rancors.
Hey, talk about targeting. You guys are.
He targeted me too, PJ. So, because the Jokers, he's talking about me. So,
kind of, yeah. But,
well, both of us, really, I guess.
Yeah, well, both of us, because.
But yeah, I mean, this is kind of like, you know, like sometimes logic gets out the window, right? And sometimes when that happens, that leads you to the other display. Kind of like you already have Boba, you got to get 2 more Bobas. You know, the one with the non-helmet and the helmeted, the vintage Boba, the Kennel version boba, like, and then when you do that, that's where you just close your eyes and then just add the cart, right? Which leads to the overcrowding as well. So this kind of like all ties in. So
Right.
let's just be honest. Like, we're collectors. Sometimes logic gets thrown out the window. Do you guys have like a limit per month, or that is not even a question? Kind of like, I like this piece, I'm gonna get it, or whatever. This might sold out. It's like, I'll get this. Whatever. I'll think about it later. I'll purchase this. I'll think about where I'm gonna put this. So,
Right.
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
I don't.
I have a limit. It's called the Force, and the Force is also known as my wife.
The wife.
No, go ahead, Will. Go ahead. You go.
Yeah,
first.
so I absolutely have a limit. I don't even have a wife. So like it's if I had a wife, it'd be double the limit. So, but it's like, yeah, because for me, like, and I think I've talked about this before, I use an app that I will highly recommend called Every Dollar. So it's a budgeting app. So I track all of my purchases that I make, not just collecting, but everything I do. So I have a certain amount that I allot myself each month in my budget for collectibles and other things. So sometimes I go over that budget, but generally speaking, I try to keep myself to a budget each month of collectibles. So like I can monitor my own progress and see kind of like, oh, I'm only 2 weeks into this month and I'm already like pretty close to the budget. You know what I mean? So like I'm really careful about that because like those things keep you accountable, because otherwise you can spend a shit ton and not even realize how much you just spent in the last 2 weeks. You know what I mean? So for me, I think it's definitely, I do not close my eyes and add to cart, because like I'm really big on saving money when I can and like building a nice savings and stuff. So like the problem is like limit is 3 rancors. So but like sometimes like a piece will come out and shatter all of that. You know what I mean? Like a rancor or like a Queen Studios or a J&D Joker, right? Where like my budget is not $2,000 a month for collectibles, but an item like that, where like I really feel like I gotta have it, or a Prime 1 Jin Sakai or a Prime 1 Sauron, right? Like that, you can pay off over time, which is nice, but like those things will destroy your budget. So you gotta bake that in. You know what I mean? So I think
with Will, I know you said you have a budget. Is it like monthly, yearly?
Yeah, monthly.
There's monthly that you indulge yourself to like a big purchase.
Right.
Does that mean, let's say if your monthly, for example, is, let's just say $500 a month for collectibles, right?
It's pretty close to that.
Hot Toy statue. So if you buy a $2,000, what's his name?
Pennywise.
Pennywise.
Right.
Does that mean you're not going to buy anything for 4 months?
No. Yeah. So like that's sort of situation. Like
feels like you just close your eyes and add to cart.
In that type of situation, I will. But Obscure is a really good.
He closes his eyes for like 2 weeks, and then he just
more for like a year. But so that's a really good point. You know what I'll do though to balance things out? I get guilt because I went over. I sell. Exactly. So I'll buy that Pennywise is $2,000. I just went 3 times over my budget, like for the month, right? So like basically, if I can pay off payment plans, I'll do that, because then I can live with myself. But otherwise, like if I can't, then I'll take like a couple Hot Toys I don't really want, and I'm like, okay, now I can sleep at night. I sold these 2 Hot Toys and recouped $500, right? Like so that is what I'll do. But that's a good point. Like sometimes I will, like a piece like that, I will close my eyes and add to cart. But if I know I'm going over the budget, I just feel guilty. Like that's why it's there, to keep me accountable. So I like it.
And PJ has one, but we don't know. It's kind of like having a rope. PJ's rope is really long, though.
Right. It's a really long rope.
It's a really long rope. So I want to hear your thoughts on this, PJ.
Nah, I just closed my eyes. No, the thing is, it's called ask. It's better to ask for forgiveness later. No.
Get the roses and you're good.
Exactly. No, for me, it's just like I go I go with the flow. I don't really like, I don't know. I just like, if I see something like I really, really like it, I'll just buy it.
So with that, that's kind of like closing, because when you have a budget, let's say if you have a budget and something's coming out now, if you're strict with your budget, you wouldn't buy it. Right?
Yeah,
see, that's kind of like my point. Like if you have a rope where, oh man, like because you buy things that are limited, like a Regal robot that you can't miss it. If you do, you might regret it later.
Right. And that's the thing that that's the number one thing that I found out pretty quickly, is that I hate the feeling of regret. And I mean, how many times have I passed up on figures just because I told myself, it's not going to sell out, or it's going to sit down for a while, like, And the next you know, it's like, oh shoot, like here I am, like telling myself I should have bought it. So I just like, with the Rancor, with the Sideshow Rancor, perfect example. I was like telling myself, do I really, really want to buy this Sideshow Rancor? Like, I know I want the Regal Robot Rancor, but do I really need this one? And I go to and I told myself, I was like, shoot, I missed out on that dewback. Now I can never get that dewback because it's so rare and it's so highly priced in the aftermarket that I don't know, like even if I was lucky enough to see it in eBay or in the groups, on the buy sell trade groups, it's going for like $1,700-$1,800. And original price for that dewback was $350.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, Sideshow really couldn't sell that dewback. It sat for a while.
Right.
So they sold it with, they had a promo, right? They sold it with the Sand Trooper, their own Sand Trooper, to try and get rid of that.
To get rid of it. Yep.
And then what? Look at that thing.
Yep.
And that your 2 Rancor, that is on top of the 3 Mythos statue.
Oh my
and
gosh.
we're only in March.
Oh my, well, you know what it is? I don't know what happened in, like, seriously, like with everybody. I think it just all hit me at once.
Mhm.
And it was
That's
like
the worst.
This is like, I've never had to deal with anything like this ever. I've had a couple, like 3 or 4 statues released in like maybe a couple months, but we're talking about within weeks, like Mythos Maul, Mythos Ventress, Mythos Emperor, Rancor, what else? Royal Guard, Regal Robot. It was just like, what the, on top of Hot Toys Child, Hot Toys IG-11.
Yeah.
It's like, what the F is going on here?
Right.
So no, for me though, like I survived. I ate a lot of like cup of noodles and spam.
You don't go home, you just sleep at work.
Yeah.
So you can wake up, you'll be there again.
Yeah, well, for me, it's I'm preparing for the next wave. No, but I just know that usually with collecting, there's always like that little like pause, like right now, Hot Toys.
Feeling of guilt.
Yeah, Hot Toys does have a little bit of a pause right now.
Yeah, so usually it's around this time. It's usually like from March to maybe April, and maybe mid-April they'll have like really nothing much announced or released. So that's when your Hot Toy, like that's when your pockets can relax a little bit. In terms of Star Wars statues, really most of the statues are to be released later this year, which is great. So yeah, there's going to be that lull where you could like kind of recuperate and work 80 hours a week and and save up for the next wave.
I have more. We're gonna end, like with this question, but this is not to discourage anyone. Like whatever your answer is in here, this is not to. This is all right. Whatever you do, we're all in the same boat in here. We're just kind of discussing. I don't know. It popped onto my head, so I started writing down the list. I mean, I was work for 8 hours, so I got a long list. So,
must have been
it's
really
funny that they're paying me to do this, by the way. But
oh, there you go. It's a win-win.
Yeah, I mean, we've all been there. Like, as a matter of fact, I think I wrote this list down because I talked to these 2 guys right here. I felt the guilt, and not as the same guilt as PJ, because I did buy maybe 4 or 5 Hot Toys, and I was just like, hey, the entire March, I'm not gonna purchase one. And in monetary value, that is nothing. The one that I bought, that is just like maybe 1 statue. It's less than $2,000. But I felt the guilt that I had to sell 5 Hot Toys because I bought PlayStation as well. So I felt
exactly
to sell 5 Hot Toys just to get that guilt off. So I don't know if anyone feels the same way as I do.
I do.
Yeah. I sell because of that.
And
me too.
Hard decisions, right? Like sometimes even the display, either you have a nice display or you miss out on some characters. There's always a give and take in here. Like unless your house is gigantic that you can have every Marvel characters, but either they're going to look cramped up or you miss out on some characters like Nebula or Gamora, and
Yeah.
you just focus on the main characters.
And like I
For
said,
example.
I sold Civil War Cap. I didn't really want to. I love that figure. I sold him because I kind of felt guilty. I bought some stuff recently, and I was like, I got Endgame Cap coming in. I was like, I didn't really want to let him go, but it's an example. Yeah, and like another thing, it's obviously not a common occurrence, but like if you're like, I think I would have felt guilty if I didn't do this, and like I guess we're in a privileged position where we can use this kind of money to buy things like that. But like my stimulus, for example, I took all of that money, or the vast majority of it at least, and put it. I bought Prime One Sauron, right? He's on pre-order. I had messaged Prime One. I was like, hey, let me pay as much as you'll let me pay. Like, I want to pay this thing off with my stimulus, right? So like that's what I did just to kind of make myself feel a little bit better for buying too much recently. Instead of putting that towards something else I'd pre-order, which I recoup, even more cost add on to my bill. Like I'm gonna pay off something. You know what I mean? So that's what I did. I like that.
Yeah. So, for me, it's like I do sell quite a bit to take that guilt off. You know what it is too, because at the end of the day, these are luxury items. They're not necessity. They're not necessities, and I'm like, and that's why I always I always try to encourage, like, if you're like, with Star Wars figures and stuff, like, and the figures that we review and we, what we talk about in live stream, we try to help our fellow collectors like stay in the game as much as they can. And, with the figures that we recommend, like, okay, like for example, Heavy Mando, I recommend that figure. I said, get it. Oh, PJ, I'm not, PJ, or what are you doing? You're like, I don't need that figure. I'm on the fence. Well, get it. Enjoy that figure. And guess what? It's almost like you're just kind of like, you're enjoying the figure. It's almost like you're renting it out and trying out like that car. You're going for a test drive and you're not sure if you want to keep it or you want to buy, you want to buy it, or you want to like look for another figure or a car. Think of it that way with these figures, because at least you'll get your money back if we do decide to sell, and you can use that money to fund other things so that you won't feel guilty, buying those things that you really wanted. Right. Or if like you bought Heavy Mando and you're like, oh shoot, I don't really like this figure, and then now you could sell it for twice as much, then you just earn like $250, and you can use that towards another figure and not feel guilty. So
the flip side, I would say to that, because there's always like a counterpoint on everything.
Of course.
The flip side of that is that if you don't, and this is just playing devil's advocate, if you manage to not buy Heavy Mando, you missed out on it. You didn't get the benefits. You didn't sell it, and then you're okay with it. Then you can tell yourself, you just taught yourself self-control that maybe I just don't really need to buy every Hot Toys release.
Yeah, I'm kind of the opposite of PJ on that one. Like and I think he's I think he's right. I mean, like, I think if you have an urge for the figure, even in the slightest way, it's definitely worth at least considering. For me, like, I don't buy anything I'm not really sure of. Like, I mean, because for one, like, he's absolutely right. Like, you can get your money back for literally 99% of the figure, especially Heavy Mando.
Star Wars,
right, for sure. But I mean, even if you bought it from Sideshow, you could always return. I mean, you'll pay for return shipping, but I mean, like, you'll lose a little bit of money, but like not that much. So like, but like for me, like, I just don't want to deal with that. So I mean, like for me, I'm only, and also I'm gonna have to drop the initial money down. So like, and like for me, Heavy Mando, like, I think it looks like a great figure, but for me, I feel no qualms about passing on it because it's just not one I care about. You know what I mean? Like, I feel those urge like everyone else. Like when those posts start rolling in on the Facebook groups, oh, Heavy Mando's about to sell out. He's on blue screen, whatever. Like, and then you're like, oh my God, do I want it? Do I want it? You know what I mean? You're thinking about it. And like Krennic, right? For another example, like Krennic, I could have gotten for a really good price, and I just like didn't care about Krennic, but I almost bought him because I was thinking like the pressure that I should, because he's going to sell out and go for more, and if I want him later, but I don't really want Krennic, and I haven't cared or thought about him since.
Yeah, but see, here's the difference, though. See, that's like a FOMO kind of thing, and as opposed to like, yeah, I like this Heavy Mando. I'm not sure if I want to like, get into the line. I really love Mandalorian, but I'm talking about that kind of type of fence. Like, not like, oh my
Right.
gosh, there's the pressure. Everyone's buying this figure. I need to buy this figure.
Right.
You know.
It works a bit differently with us too, like PJ, because like we have dual purpose on that. Like A is we can review the figure, and
Right.
not everyone does that. So that's one, can get views, and second, it's a gamble because not everyone's going to turn out to be Heavy Mando. You know, like there's
Right.
figures where you think that it would be, you know, good, and then so that's a gamble that you guys gotta take. I did that. I'm not gonna lie, I did that with Cody because I thought Cody was just an excellent figure. No connection. I don't know what he is. I want to review it. I want to see the head sculpt in person, and it just happens to be that now it's trending up. But those are the, I guess, prime example of those. And then for every Heavy Mando and Cody, there's there's duds out there.
Well, absolutely. There's very few duds, and I'm sorry, Mario Cortez. I'm sorry. I know he's a big, huge fan of this 2-pack. But the Jawa and Gong Droid 2-pack is
that's a dud.
Is really hard. You know, it's really hard. But then again, it is a Gong Droid, right? So who knows when this thing sells out, like how much it might go for.
Yeah.
Right. That we would never know.
Exactly, PJ. But that is one of those things which are dangerous because if you buy that and if they don't reach that, and if you don't have any connection with Gong Droid and Jawa, now you're stuck with a
First Order Stormtroopers.
That
yeah.
Chitauri.
So yeah, and you know what, and that's the thing too, is that like most of the Star Wars figures retain their value and go up in price. You know, so sometimes like I wonder, it's like, you know, why do people have to talk about hot or cold or whatever? Like, is this like the buy or not or this and that? Like, meaning like, you know, in terms of like the stock market. Here's the thing. Star Wars figures, unless it's like the Force Awakens Chewbacca, or I'm sorry, Will, First Order Stormtroopers, you know.
I bought that thing for well below retail. So
no, I'm just saying, like, I didn't want to, you know, I know you like the sequels,
right.
But the First Order those are like the rare occasions where Star Wars really, like Sith Troopers, right? Like I think those Sith Jet Troopers. You know, I just feel like, not because of the movie, I just think they're just really poorly designed. But those are some of the exceptions, right? But most of the time, Star Wars figures are going to retain their value and then some. Look at that Princess Leia 2-pack, right? Like the Endor Princess Leia and the Wicket. Sold out, right? Now it's going for like a pretty good penny. Shock Trooper. The worst one is the Remnant Stormtrooper. Like, wow.
Yeah.
No one
expected that.
I did not expect that. You know, I didn't expect that to sell out, and I didn't expect it to go for how much it's going for right now, which is like $350, you know? So it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and Cody is a great example. He's literally another example in my case. Like, I have literally no connection to Cody. So, like, but he's an incredible looking figure. I saw the videos, I saw the pictures, and I was like, God, he looks so good. And I was kind of like you, Optical, but I was like, no, I don't really want that figure. And like everyone knew Cody was going to go up once he sold out. He's such a hot, in demand figure. Like, it's like everyone knew that thing was going to skyrocket, and it's going to continue to go up.
And guess what?
Right.
Qui-Gon's next.
Which one's going to skyrocket and not?
Right.
It's like kind of easy to tell.
Right. Like
it's
Cody,
easy.
like it's easy. And like Qui-Gon is another one, PJ. You're exactly right. And I have Qui-Gon. I love it. And like, for example, one figure that I knew I was getting to, and I think it's one of the best Hot Toys sculpts ever done, is Count Dooku. Like Count Dooku, that sculpt, I got that out of the box and I was like, holy hell. Like that looks like literally like the actor, like Christopher Lee. Yeah, I'm always forgetting his name. But like, yeah, that's another one. Like, and I never bought that with the intent of like kind of like, oh, it's gonna go up, you know. But I mean, like, I'm like, I get the investment part of it. I'm just looking at it as like, I buy a figure just purely for emotional connection. So like,
exactly,
right,
and that's one of those things that, like, you know, emotional connection. And just know that, you know, with at least with Star Wars, I don't know how much more about like with Marvel. I haven't really taken a look at that market, just because. God
damn, that Cody's so nice.
It's such a good portrait.
This who reviewed this?
This
is Optical 20, the one and only.
Oh my gosh, is that real fire in the background?
Yeah, he lit his house on fire for this. That's what I heard.
I did that. Like the fire.
He had an extinguisher in the background you can't even see.
Will Well, Optical's like he's like waiting. He's like, is it done turning yet? All right, like he has his fire extinguisher.
Or an alternate story, his Manscaped lit on fire, and then it just like it started a fire in the
Oh
background.
my god!
You know what? That would be a big bush fire if that ever happened.
Oh
Yes.
but again, I don't know with Marvel, Optical. Do you know anything about like how the figures are with that? Like
With what? Oh,
with Marvel, yeah. Do you think that a lot of the Marvel figures go up in value like once they sell out, or is it like depends?
I think it
right?
will. I
do.
eventually they will. Eventually they will. And how epic that Infinity War and Endgame is, we don't appreciate it now because they're available. But once they do, they're highly available now. People are gonna notice how good Mark 50 is because it's a fantastic looking figure. Like I said, the only difference is that it's available.
Right.
As a matter of fact, I think 50 is better than like 85.
Really?
It's just that it is available and it's not desirable when it's available. But
Right.
like Qui-Gon, perfect example. Joby says Qui-Gon. Just wait. People are sleeping on it now.
Yep.
Again, it's easy to predict now. I don't need to tell you. You can just kind of see which one are going to be one and done. And
you don't need to predict.
You can.
It's kind of like it's going to be one and done. What those things are. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's funny too, PJ, and like it's funny you mentioned that. Like when I got into the collecting game, it was just the sequels for Star Wars. This is like pre-Mandalorian, right? So like Star Wars figures were not expensive. Like I picked up, honestly, I timed it beautifully and I had no idea I was doing it. Like I literally got like the Han Solo from A New Hope for like $215. Like I got Obi-Wan Kenobi, like old Ben, for like I think like $240. Like I got like Chewbacca from A New Hope for like $200. Like these were not expensive to find and hard to find. Well, so like until Mando came out, and then Mando like reinvigorated Star Wars, and now Star Wars figures are absolutely hard to come by. Like everyone wants them, but it was Mando that changed it.
Yeah, I agree, and I seriously can't wait for some of these Marvel movies to come out so that we could bring back down some of the
Star Wars value, right?
Yeah, to bring it down to where
the shows are helping, but
it's just what it is. It's just going to get harder and harder now. Especially with all these like Star Wars shows and Marvel shows, right? Like they're just gonna they're just building up hype again. Right. DC, they're just I mean, we saw did you guys watch the trailer for Suicide Squad?
Yep. Looks good. Yep.
Like, oh my gosh, like James Gunn, like with the the like his style. Yeah, with the music in the background.
Looks fun.
It looks funny. But now it's like, wow, like they're really like DC's ramping up, Marvel is starting to ramp up. Like now, like I don't know, like is any figure safe? Because
everything's in demand.
Yeah, like everything's gonna start being in demand pretty soon.
Start collecting different items now.
But like for example, when I talked about Nightmare, Batman, and Superman, I don't really have a lot of DC stuff, but like those figures, I definitely am gonna get. I'm thinking because I already ordered the coat from 1/6 kit, so I don't even have Nightmare Batman yet. I won't even have him for a year.
You don't even know if you're gonna buy it though, right?
No, I don't, and that's the thing. I bought the figure.
I think you're gonna buy it now since you have to.
Exactly. I think I've kind of put myself into a corner. Because I boxed myself into a corner here.
Now to buy it because
the coat was like $38 and it looks so good. No,
I know, like that's like a NRD that you eat anyway.
Right.
So if you decide to cancel it anyway, then
when the coat sells out again, I could sell the coat for more if I wanted to. I mean, like it's just I'm a scalper now.
How dare you?
How dare you? Like who? I think it's Dave as well. Selling codeine for each 500. You scalper, Dave.
He's a scalper. Dave, he's known for his scalping.
He's not.
How dare you, Dave?
Yeah, I bought a house.
Shout out to Dave, by the way.
House where
awesome guy.
For how much I bought it for. So, yeah.
All right, you're guys. You're a scalper, Optical.
We went to like 2 hours now. I still got a lot of lists. If you guys want,
oh my god, I seriously.
We're not going to go through this now, but this is what they paid me for. So, I got more, man. I got like really long.
How
list,
many?
so.
How seriously? Like, did we even like? What
We're
percentage?
I think we got a quarter.
Oh my!
So we got a lot of live streams.
It was 8 hours,
dude.
Man.
What the hell were you doing?
No, I don't know what my other people were doing back then, but I was just like,
They're like your coworkers are like, wow, this optical is so busy.
well, I'm working
right
at home, so
He's
they
really
don't-
productive today.
They
Yeah.
don't see me. I was just like on my phone. I was just like adding it up, and I was just like, all right, I'm gonna put
He's
it on.
especially productive.
Very. I don't know why they pay me.
I tried calling optical, but his phone's busy.
It's like, I need help. My computer isn't working, but
Yeah.
Sounds like you just took a bunch of Adderall or something, and then you just like put all these things on your phone.
JB, you're next.
JB's next.
Mm.
She's
next.
so excited she put it in all caps.
What Amber too? So we don't, there's another,
Wait,
don't-
what's the
don't get
single songwriter say?
too-
Star Wars anniversary dates 1977, 2027. Oh, how many years is that? That's 50 years. So wow, okay, that's good to know. Because you know what? Who knows? They might do a reissue of the New Hope figures, right?
I
Yeah,
think they would.
exactly.
Like,
2027.
I don't know how much those things are, because I had those New Hope figures. They're not the greatest. They're 2015 figures, and it shows. Those are the things where I don't think you guys are gonna miss if you had them for 5 years. Like if you sell them now, yeah, you don't have like a Han Solo that's but let's be honest, they show their age, and I think they're gonna do it again. I think they will. It's just a matter of time. So
Dude, you have 79 people watching. You sure you don't want to do one more topic?
And side note, Bespin Han is going to happen eventually.
Oh my god,
It's going to happen.
they've
It's like
been
Jango Fett.
They need to release another Chewbacca. Hot Toys. Seriously.
Just reissue The Force Awakens.
No.
I'm just
No.
kidding.
No.
Reissue is the hottest figure on the
You
market.
know what? There's been some people looking for Force Awakens Chewbacca. Like that's how much I care. Like I don't want to sell them my figure. Like I'm like,
You don't
do
want to
they
pass
know-
along your pain to someone else?
Yeah, I'm like, Like,
You're a
I
monster.
I could seriously sell this figure, but like I could finally sell this figure, but I don't know.
I would do
like, but I'm like, I want to like message the guy or person. I'm like, hey man, like, do you really want the Force Awakens Chewbacca?
Because I will sell it to you.
I will sell it to you, but
I will ruin your collection
yeah.
if you let me.
I had to bribe. Well, I had to get. I sold mine for how much I paid for it for the 2-pack, which is
Mhm.
and I sold like some of my. I was telling Will, I just couldn't get rid of Finn. I couldn't give him away, man.
Yeah, no one wants him. I bought him for real cheap.
Yeah, and it's not like I need to get
Finn.
rid of him or anything.
Oh,
It's just space.
Finn.
Like I wanted somebody to take his spot, but
Yeah, I bought him
You know,
brand new
it-
for like 115.
You know what is high, highly sought after is the Finn with the bloody
Yep.
stormtrooper helmet.
yeah.
Yep. I want that, but I'm not willing to pay the price for it.
But why is that though?
I
Why?
guess it's just unique.
It's
It's
just
Is it-
unique.
is it
it's
unique?
a stormtrooper with blood on it.
That's
you don't
what
see
we
that.
said when there was a Luke Skywalker that's in Han Solo. We were just like back then. We were just like, you can just pop in like a stormtrooper with a different head on it. Why would
Right.
they even come up with this kind of thing? But
Mhm.
people like those, just
Right.
one off and
Yeah, like you'll never see that type of Finn figure again. And I didn't think it would be as popular as it is, but yeah, I think it's just unique. It's a stormtrooper with some blood on it. It looks cool. So
it does. It's
Gotcha.
pretty powerful.
I was just really shocked how much it was still going.
yeah, I am
for.
too, actually. But I guess that's really as simple as it is. I mean, it seems like anyway. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird.
yeah.
I didn't know you were looking for it, Will. So I'll keep a lookout for it.
Yeah, yeah, not necessarily, but like if you find a good price for it, I would do it.
yeah, for sure.
Because you always look out for me, so I appreciate it. You
Well,
enable,
yeah, I'm
but you
always
also
enabling.
look out.
And anytime the PJ can make you spend money, I think he works.
He
at
feels,
Dollar
he feels better about himself. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's me.
He-
speaking.
like,
You're gonna be like,
yes!
oh, he just spent a lot of money. Now I could do it too. So
Yeah, it's one big
There you go,
vicious
which
cycle.
PJ, you're gonna have. Do you have any streams tomorrow coming up?
Yeah.
Sit-downs? Or-
Yeah, I was thinking about doing a Hot Toys Star Wars specific stream. So I just got home. I was gonna make the thumbnail, but I'll do that a little bit later. And so yeah, that should be coming up. Is it later on today or tonight? Because
Tonight.
it's midnight
Yeah.
already.
Yeah,
So yeah, definitely. Got Lael. Wanted to announce him, make that special announcement. Him and I have been talking. And, he's a huge Star Wars fan as well. So yeah, we always wanted to do like a dedicated Hot Toys Star Wars live stream. So obviously I'm gonna have these guys on. But we're I don't know, for us, like we are such a great dynamic for doing like some of the pop culture and a whole bunch of basically pretty much we talk about everything right?
Yeah,
you
we
know,
do.
you know.
PJ, before we go, I just kind of like this caught my eye. Totally forgot about this. Do you know what's going on with the Jazz Inc?
I don't know. I don't know what
Apparently,
happened.
he's
I don't
gonna
either.
team up with Warner. Apparently, so
He
he's
is.
he's unlicensed, right?
Yeah.
So apparently, he got the dreaded CND for Warner to
Mm.
stop the Batmobile or the
Yeah.
Justice Mobile.
I heard
So now
about
he
that.
came up with a video saying that they got in contact and they might have a partnership that he might release that in the future. How do you feel? Have you bought anything from Jazz Inc?
No, I was going to buy the Millennium Falcon, but I just chose the Rancor instead. I was like,
Safer.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
and no, I haven't bought anything from. They make great products. They
It
do.
looks like it. Yeah, they have the cockpit for the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, that's the one I was going to pick up, but I
Isn't
just
that like 1,200 or?
it's like 1,400 with the lights and the
If you think about
sound.
it, it's not that bad, right? Like, I mean, for what you're getting, it's huge.
Yeah, it's not that bad, but I had to pick and choose. It was either the Rancor or the Millennium Falcon.
Right.
And I feel like, with the Rancor, it's just like if it sells out, that's it. You can't ask Sideshow, hey, make more. At least, with if I wanted that Millennium Falcon, I would, Jazz Inc. has done like multiple runs. Like he did quite a few runs of the Land Speeder, right?
Yeah.
So it's initially sold out, and then people wanted more, and then he did it again. So at least I had that option. With the Rancor, it's that edition
Right.
size. That's it. Which,
Right.
by the way, that Rancor is waitlisted. So I'm glad
Wait,
that.
quick.
Yeah, I was shocked in how quick. I was like, "What is it waitlisted?" Like, damn, that's pretty damn quick.
How about
So-
you familiar with Jazz Inc?
No, not really. I mean, as much
that
as-
collector said Rancor sold out
wow.
at Sideshow.
Yeah, like optical.
Wow.
I'm familiar. I'm as familiar with Jazz Inc. insofar as like I know that they exist and they make like the Batmobile and the Millennium Falcon cockpit, but I've never bought anything from them now. But I have seen their products and they look incredible. You guys know how I am. I'm generally like a little skittish with unlicensed stuff. Like I will buy some unlicensed things if I really feel compelled to do so. Like if it's a character that I just absolutely love. But like dropping that much on an unlicensed thing, I'm a little, you know what I mean? Like unless it's like a costume piece. If it's a costume piece and I have no other choice but a collectible, like, but they do incredible work. I can't deny that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They look great. I'm just a little, if you guys are anyone on the chat trying to pre-order from Jazz Inc., take it with a little bit of caution because they got the CND. They said they're going to partner with Warner. I don't know. I think that's millions, right? to get licensing from a company that big. And not to, I'm not trying to put down Jazz Inc. because I think they do a terrific job. But if you guys follow the Cyborg fiasco with like whatever his name is,
Ray Fisher.
Iron Geek.
Oh no, I thought you meant just the actor.
Yeah, Iron Geek, where he's trying to do a custom of
the Cyborg.
Oh,
and then he took money. I think it's like $600, and then most people already, like if you're doing a custom, you mostly pay up front, and then the custom commission gets done over time. It's way beyond PayPal, so your 600 is basically gone. So he said he got the CND with Warner, stopped it. Now you can't even get the guy. So be cautious if you are putting down payment with, because it's a lot of money. 10% of like $2,000 is $200. That's one Hot Toys. You got to know the risk of dealing with Jazz Inc. I know they're a pretty cool company, but
I was gonna say,
get scared when the attorney starts handing you that CND. So.
These companies are protective of their IP. So
yeah. And that's the thing, we should really tackle one, not tonight, because I think this will be like a 4 hours stream if we do, but like like customs versus license, like what are the advantage and disadvantages, and why do collectors collect licensed pieces compared to people that collect custom pieces, right? And that'd be a nice topic. Is that on your list? Oh God, this is a perfect.
This one right here.
This is
10 out
why
of
you
10
collect third
must
parties.
buy.
Oh my God. That was the only. Was that the only picture of a figure that you had today? Was
Well, there's
Vicious?
3 of them. All of them are vicious.
That's the only one you need, PJ.
So
You don't need anything else.
some baggy shorts, but
Just make it your desktop background.
Is
while you're
that
at
taken out of like one of the Enter basketball players?
pretty much, yeah, pretty
Oh
much.
my god.
Oh, well, yeah, just that's all I'm gonna say about the Jazz Inc. He seems reputable, but again, you never know.
Everyone's
What's that attorney?
reputable. You know what? Let me tell you, there's been some really issues or problems before with some statute commissioners, where they were like, taking people's money and they were gonna do a piece, and then next they just ran away with the money,
Yeah.
and it's just it's a dangerous game.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Like I said, we'll talk about it more, but just real quick thought is that, like, for me, if that ever happened to me where I lost like a ton of money, that would so discourage me from collecting. I think my wife would be so pissed at me, the fact that I lost that much money to a deposit or whatever I did to pay off a custom unlicensed piece, that it would seriously destroy my collecting, ways, right?
Right.
Because then she's like, well, you just wasted money.
Yeah.
So I just don't want to. I'm having such a fun time collecting. I don't want to go that route. That's just me.
Right. That's why I just say tread lightly with unlicensed stuff. Yeah, it's just if you buy from like a shop, like 1/6 Kid or what are the other ones, like 1/6 Outfitters or something like that, then at least you have that that backing in your purchase. But otherwise, if you're buying directly from someone like a custom maker, like just even if they're reputable, just be careful.
Be ready. Yeah, be ready to you got to condition your mind that if something happens,
Right.
Yeah, and
I've seen it. Yeah,
I've seen it, man.
I've lived it.
Yeah, and I've seen it. I've seen
and
it.
that's supposed to be reputable too. Will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen. I could send videos of YouTubers that got scammed, like literally lost like thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And I just, to me, if that, like I said, if that ever happened to me and I lost like $1,000 on a statue or a diorama piece or a Millennium Falcon cockpit, yeah, call my collecting career done.
At least with unlicensed stuff.
Yeah,
So-
no, just in general, because my wife is like, you lost $1,000. Don't stop collecting.
I should wouldn't know. Does she know that Rancor is 3,000? Or should we let her
Well,
know?
she watches my videos, and stupid me, I was like, well, let me get more people
That is
to
in your
watch.
thumbnail.
Yeah, it was stupid me, because I was like, oh,
She
let me get
knows.
more. Yeah, she knows.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, definitely.
Will, anything new coming up, man? I know you're gonna stream soon. You
Yep.
gotta put in your.
Oh
your
my
Twitch.
gosh!
Yeah, put in
Finally,
your Twitch.
I'm gonna be live streaming with you guys. Yeah, so I'm gonna be doing Twitch. It's actually Will Foxy Love on Twitch. So like, cause Will Foxy Vacation. So somehow
I thought it was Frozen Will.
no, dude, someone took Will Fox Vacation on Twitch. So I don't know who did it, but they're trying to beat me to the game. So
Good job, PJ.
it was PJ. No, this was a while back.
I was
man,
like,
even when I
well,
first started.
and I was like, you know what? I think Will's going to take like Frozen Will forever. And I
No,
was
it's
you know
like
what?
it's Elsa fan #1. That's
Oh
what it
my
is.
god! So
Foxification.
Hashtag Frozen.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be streaming. I'm actually playing Final Fantasy VII to start, but I'm gonna be playing online games. I'm gonna be playing with these two guys actually eventually. So we're gonna be playing. I don't have a PS5 because I'm not as lucky as them or as skilled. So basically, we're gonna be playing some online games at some point. But I'm gonna be streaming, and then also I'm gonna be reviewing. Yeah.
Tetris, baby.
Tetris. Well, yeah, Pac-Man,
Oh, man.
Tetris.
By the way, did you know that there's actually a Tetris tournament? I actually watched these players play.
really?
So Asian.
Dude, they're pretty damn awesome, man. Like, I'm like,
Dude,
damn.
Korea,
They're going fast, dude. Like, everything's like dropping down like freaking raindrops, man.
Dude,
I mean-
on that topic, have you guys ever watched the Mortal Kombat tournaments? Those guys are like, I can watch those videos for forever. Oh, PJ overheated. It's the Rancors, dude.
it's
I don't know. He's too close to the Rancors. I don't know. He overheated. But have you ever watched Optical the Mortal Kombat tournaments on YouTube?
That's what she said. Oh, what? Sorry.
Those guys are incredible. Watch them fight. It's so fun. Like I'm just like there's like combo after combo after combo. Like those tournaments are great. But I'm gonna be reviewing Iron Studios, Proxima, and
Nice.
Ebony Maw.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
dude, PJ,
Mm.
dude, I'm telling you guys, don't sleep on these Iron Studios Black Order, okay? Because like they are fire, okay, and they look really good together. Corvus still hasn't come in yet, but I got the other three, and they look great.
Well, I just was like on another live stream on another channel. They unboxed the X-Men diorama, and dude,
You
I
went
was
to this
Yeah.
channel?
so this close to buying that thing.
Whose channel are you in? Easy.
It's easy. It's easy. Or is it Man of Hot? One or the other.
I was in Justin's.
Oh, Justin's okay. I thought it was it. It wasn't Jeddah.
No,
Oh, okay.
You guys don't get invited there, do you?
No,
no.
just you, Optical.
Rookies.
You're the only one in the inner circle.
Well,
Yeah.
you know,
So
you're not cool enough. So
no. One day I hope.
All right, we gotta
I hope
stop
to be
this.
there.
All right. All right, thanks everyone. Yeah, so just check their channels out. Paradox Nerd and Will Foxification if you want to do some awesome reviews for 300. So yeah, definitely check them out. And thank you for joining us tonight. All right, and we'll see you guys tomorrow at Paradox's live stream.
All right. Peace out, guys.